shit right off the bat.
Odle broke my futon.
Right off the bat.
Okay, guys.
I broke the floorboard.
No way! Oh, that is awesome. Okay,
Thanks for joining, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to Sorta My Podcast. Guys, my name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human. Sitting to my left,
Mr. Bob Collins, also known as Boba Fett.
and right across from him,
James Odle, the floor breaker Alpha Spectre.
guys, we've missed a lot of news stories. So we decided we would go live to get ourselves and you caught up on what we think. So what was on the agenda first, Bob? We got a lot.
We have a lot. I think we're going to start off with some movies, some recent movies that came out.
Okay, yeah, we did see
stuff that came out in theaters.
all of them.
Yeah.
We saw every movie.
There's really just two big ones
Yeah.
in our absence. Let's go ahead and start with, a little story
A Star Wars story.
of some wars in the stars.
Took place
Star Trek?
I think it was like last week down the street.
Yeah. Somewhere
West
a
Philadelphia.
long time ago. Yeah, that's Philadelphia.
They're putting Will Smith and everything else.
Yeah, might as well.
So, all right. I'm just going to come out and say, I think it was perfect. Like, it is a perfect intro to anyone who hasn't seen the old movies but is leery about seeing them because they're old.
My feelings on it, my all-time favorite Star Wars movie, period, will always be Empire Strikes Back. This is a close second.
Yeah.
Like, it's that's good.
That's what a lot of people
And I don't
say.
think they were necessarily underselling it, but they
I think
really
they did.
they really weren't letting us know the gem that we got. Like, I think everybody kind of expected, like, well, okay, this is Disney Star Wars now. Like, they're taking it serious. Like, they're not going to give us garbage. Hell yeah, it's cool. We're going to have these little mini stories in between the saga films. I wasn't expecting much out of it. I was expecting to have a good time. I was expecting them to do it right. But going and watching it, dude, like,
Yeah.
it was great. It
think-
definitely, like, you could cut out the end credits of that movie and the beginning credits of A New Hope, and it will just merge perfectly right into the saga.
Yes, and that's important to note, is that they say it takes place before A New Hope. No, it takes place like moments
minutes. Like,
before
maybe a minute or two
before the beginning of A New Hope.
Like, I really think with this one, they didn't give us, like, here's this in the movie, here's this in the movie, here's this movie. They let the movie speak for itself. Like, it's a Star Wars movie. People are going to come in and see it.
I mean, it's got its things like Blue Milk and
cameos out there.
cameos.
Oh, yeah.
Should we
A
keep
lot
it
of-
spoiler free? We never discussed that.
Let's
Keep it ultimate spoiler free. Well, there are going to be some spoilers, but they're going to be small and minuscule.
I'm gonna let the
Just
biggest
cover that.
spoiler out here. They get the plans to the Death Star.
Oh shit! See, I didn't even know that, and I saw it twice.
The whole franchise is ruined.
Ruined.
It's gone.
But ultimately, I'm kind of with Bob. It's probably one of the best Star Wars films we've gotten. And do we consider the prequels real movies?
Yes.
I mean, yes,
course.
they're part of
I mean,
they're part of canon. As much as
have
they're not as exciting to me personally as some of the other movies are, they're still part of the story. It's part of the Skywalker story, at least. You know what I mean?
I've said this before, and I think it's the ultimate opinion for like any Star Wars fan who accepts the prequels for what they are. I liked the first one because I was a kid when it came out. And even if you look at it as a movie critic, it still got the lightsaber battle. Qui-Gon Jinn,
and from a kid's standpoint,
racers.
they were so much fun. Like, when I was a kid, I loved them. Going back and watching them, like, in comparison, like, story-wise, and everything else.
And episode 2 was, every time I think about it, I get bored. It's got some parts, but not like episode 1 does. And then episode 3, that is the only one that, like, I will stand by to the end of the day. It is a Star Wars. It feels like a Star Wars
Episode
movie.
2 had Grievous in it, right?
Yeah.
I remember that part. I remember Grievous getting the 4 lightsabers and his arm spinning, and that's about it.
Yep. I remember Anakin fighting Count Dooku, dual wielding.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, no, it was a boring movie. But episode 3 is definitely a really good thing. Yeah. Oh, thank you for bringing that up because we need to keep up with like the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually,
Going back to Rogue One though.
Yeah. I want to.
What was some of your favorite parts?
Well,
of
I want to touch on something you said. You said that they undersold it. I think they subtly sold it as much as they wanted
without spoiling. I mean,
yeah, because think about that first trailer. That first trailer said this movie knows it's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and probably one of the all-time best Darth Vader scenes I'll ever see in a movie.
Oh my god, yes. And this is and I've talked on previous episodes, this is the Darth Vader that they've been portraying in the comics.
Yeah,
this is that badass Darth Vader. And there's been a lot more fan theories that have streamed out of this. Why is he slower when he's fighting Obi-Wan or when he's fighting Luke and stuff? And it's giving people like new reasons to visit the old movies and like think about them again. Like rethink what was actually happening behind the mask, behind the man.
It gives you a whole new reason to go back and watch those movies and see if like, wait a minute, does that actually connect to that? And you go back and watch it, you're like, it is perfect. Like,
you're
they
talking
took
about
their
the scene
fucking
at the
time,
end, right?
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about the scene?
Yeah,
at the end?
Yes.
Okay. As much as I loved that, me personally, as far as the Darth Vader scenes, the first one. Like
space puns.
The space puns scene.
Like I enjoy that, but just the
everything up to that pun, I loved.
I loved that. I don't care. I loved that pun.
It was funny. I laughed. But like looking back on it, I was like, it wasn't really Vaderish for me. Like it seemed out of character. But
fair enough.
Okay, you're in my home, man. I'm gonna crack jokes on you. Like, don't choke, son.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just that he believed Krennic was so pathetic that like he just has to joke about it to even keep him alive.
Anything else on Rogue One?
I love
because we have a lot. We have a lot this episode. So.
I do. Real quick, I want to say I love K. K2.
Two Dicks.
It's Tudix.
That's the actor's name. His last name's Tudix. I want to say it's like
KB.
Letters,
letters in the black android.
The reformed droid, Imperial droid. He was really funny. The moment he slams Jin, it's like
congratulations, you're being rescued.
Yes, I loved it. I love that they used
hit me with another coaster.
Master Ball. These coasters are more. God damn it!
Told you it was a bad idea. Was that Harley? Okay.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sorry, but Vader's going to have to move. You cannot disrespect Slave Leia Harley.
Let me pop that one back.
Should we adjust the couch real quick?
Real quick.
Let's continue talking while we're doing it.
Well, anyways, I love the droid. I don't care what people are saying about the CG. I feel like it was poignant. You can't tell the story.
It's staying right there.
Yeah, you can't tell the story without. I think that's the same size.
It'll work for now.
So we're moving everything up, and we're not gonna stomp on the floor anymore.
Yes, no more.
I found a support beam.
We are not getting. What do the kids say? Lit these days.
This podcast is fire.
It is.
The term
you guys are my
use.
bae. I think
No.
that's proper.
Is that what this podcast is about now? Making fun of youth.
Yes. All right.
Good, because I can go all day on that one. Anyways, there was a. I think the one thing we need to talk about is the CG. Like before we move on, we gotta talk.
You're talking about bringing back
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Not just, but yes.
Did you say Grandma Tarkin?
Yeah,
Grandma
Grand
Tarkin.
Moff.
I think he said
Grandma Turducken.
Grandma Cushing came back. like I said, you can't tell this story without Grand Moff Tarkin because he is pivotal in the use of the Death Star, like right up until the point where he dies on the captain goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
And so
I
in
just got
order,
Celine Dion playing
if
that.
they had just recast him, it would have been distracting.
Very much so,
Yeah.
especially.
And they got a guy who looks a lot like him. It's not just a computerized. It's not a fucking tennis ball on a stick. It's a guy with motion capture who looks very close, doing the voice and everything, doing Peter Cushing, and then they just mapped over him. That's it. So it's not nearly as bad as everyone's making it sound. It's not a fucking cartoon.
No.
Right, but it is very noticeable.
Not even.
I don't think it's very noticeable.
I mean, I've mentioned this before in personal discussions and such with Vin here, but I feel like there's some parts where a lot of close-ups, the camera stayed on him a little too long because, like, after sitting watching for a good 30, 45 seconds, you're like,
Honestly, I believe
they did a good job. Like, I mean, I'm still like, yeah, they did a good job, but like, it takes just a second for me to go out of the moment and be like, wow, they did.
I believe that they edited and animated his scenes in order because, like, as the movie progresses, it gets better and better. It gets less noticeable that his mouth is.
And not only that, but the whole scene where he's pretty much taking over control of the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a reshoot.
Really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know that.
That it was that scene and another one. Pretty much from what it seemed like is that first scene that you kind of see his reflection in the glass, and then he turns around. That was going to be the biggest part of him.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of things I love about the movie. They use old deleted footage from the original trilogy. They used they made new stuff. Like new vehicles and stuff, but they don't make a big deal about it. They're just there. They're part of the world. But anyways, it was a great movie. We can't suggest it enough. I know I'm buying like every ATACTs. Thank you. All-terrain armored cargo transports. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
All right, just call them beach AT-ATs.
Going back into...
We can't call them AT-ATs at all. Because it's an acronym.
AT-ATs.
All right, we can go all day on that one. But moving on.
I think you boys need to slide on your sling rings and Doctor Strange this bitch up.
Fucking nerds.
Hey, I almost ordered one of the things that you could get a sling ring with.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that that's a thing, though.
Yeah.
That they went that far with the collectibles. That's pretty awesome.
But I loved it. It was a good origin story, especially for a character that, like, I've always found a little interesting, but for the most part, never really gave a fuck about.
A lot of people like
that. As most of everybody, and
he goes right over their head.
It was trippy. It was a bit trippy. It had, and I was expecting it to like kind of be a slow burn into the trippiness. No. Within the first scene, the first few minutes, it instantly starts getting all Inception and buildings are folding, they're running side like. It got crazy quick.
I don't know, I think it had a little more build.
It did.
Like
it did
have
have
solid half.
It did, but like there was. I mean, right at the beginning, they had that crazy fight.
Yeah,
and then it went into more of Stephen Strange's story before it got crazy again. But like right off the bat, it let us know like, hey, this is gonna be a fun fucking movie.
Well,
like,
yeah, okay, yeah. What you say is she doesn't dip his toes into the water. She just like
yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like within literally when the movie starts. When the movie starts, after the opening credits, when
and it's the ancient one.
It's the ancient one. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I was like 5 minutes late.
You're always like 5 minutes late for the movie. You missed the first couple
he's
minutes.
coming. No, not always. I was always on time for Star Wars. Like he was just entering the hospital as I came into the movie. Yeah.
Wow, you missed a chunk, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah. Like just entering the hospital injured.
No. Like he's like entering the hospital, picking what like shit he's gonna do, and
we just
talking.
We just got an angry reaction from across the screen. Yeah. The only reaction we got so far. Angry one went by.
James Raymond Odle's in here.
Oh yeah.
Oh cool.
Huh.
Look at that. Anyways, no, we I enjoyed the movie, but
So
I
did I.
don't care.
It served its purpose. It introduced not only Stephen Strange to our universe, to the MCU. It introduced the whole mystic arts, which is going to be playing a big part in everything from the Infinity War to even the Netflix original shows.
Yeah.
And then we got another Infinity Gem.
I think I enjoyed it about as much as I enjoyed the first Thor movie.
I think I enjoyed it a little more than I did the second Thor movie.
Oh, definitely more than Dark World. But no, it's kind of like what you said. Like, I love Doctor Strange when he's in group settings, like Civil War or wasn't he a part of Age of Apocalypse too? I feel like he popped in.
No,
there. I don't
that
know.
was all X-Men stuff.
It was all X-Men. They didn't have anyone else.
Age of Apocalypse was a straight X-Men story.
I don't know what I'm
it
thinking
touched
of.
other parts of the Marvel universe, but
I know he
Show me.
teamed up with the X-Men at some point.
Show me on this Allen where else it touched everybody. Right there.
right above the knee. Anyways, no, but I like him in group settings. I just never cared enough to read his book.
well, the new one that started last year,
Yeah.
like the after Secret Wars. I started reading it. It was really cool. Now he's got like a female prodigy.
Yeah.
It's really cool, like reading the book, seeing what he deals with, as far as like all of the shit that he sees that no one else can.
I was just like to imagine him as like just a magic man that pops in every now and again.
No, there's
Just a magic man.
surprisingly
Hey guys,
there's
want to go
also
to a different plane and get healed?
there's another magician
Y'all
in the
get
Marvel
fucked up
universe
in a
called Dr. Magnifico.
Really?
Yeah, he's interesting. but no, Doctor Strange is really kind of a fascinating character. Once you get into what really makes him who he is and what he really does,
Yeah.
he is one of
Well,
the few people responsible
I'll tell
for
you how to
guarding
live your
this
life.
entire realm.
I will say this. I like that, like, during the movie, like, he starts out with this cockiness and this, like,
Oh, yeah.
spark of life, but he doesn't really lose it. Like, once he starts getting the hang of what he's doing with the mystic arts, like, it comes right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
So
he
never
he
really...
takes his like from where he studied and finished school early and all that.
Yeah.
And then when he was starting to learn the magic, he went right back into that learning
Astral
mode.
projection,
like-
doing it in his sleep.
Yeah. And like when he he went to the library to return that giant stack of huge fucking books.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm done with these. I need more. I'm like that is a great depiction of who he is.
Well,
One
it
of the
was...
things I didn't like about that, like in that scene specifically you're talking about when he was bringing the books back, is the whole, like the Beyonce, Britney Spears, when he's trying to talk music with the guy, it served its purpose as like, oh, it's a quick little laugh, but it seemed too forced to me, and it
Some of
definitely
it
dated
did.
it a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did like the
feel
fact that Wong was listening to that kind of music anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't really need to see it. It's not necessary in the Marvel MCU. It's just like with the comics.
fun.
When Doctor Strange pops up in other things, like how Doctor Strange is going to be in Thor Ragnarok, you just
Spoilers.
kind of accept it. That's news. You just kind of accept it. You're like, oh shit, there's Doctor Strange. And then he does his thing, then he's gone, and you're like, oh, Doctor Strange is here. That's all you need.
What's that sound? Oh,
That was a
Dr. Strange
fantastic
is
goatee.
Right.
I want that. I want that interaction in Infinity War between Robert
I've been saying
Downey
it.
Jr. and
I've been
Benedict
saying it
Cumberbatch.
since he was casted. I want there just to be that one time where somebody says, "No shit, Sherlock," and they just kind of go, just look at each other.
And they are cursing a lot now more,
Yeah.
which I like.
Yeah.
Hell, in the first Avengers movie, while Tony Stark's asking Bruce Banner on how he stays calm, he asks him if he does yoga and everything else, and then he says it quick, but if you listen or turn on subtitles, he says, "Big bag of weed."
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
Disney.
our first like step into the like, what can we get away with?
There are a lot of subtle things that they throw in there that you've got to pay attention to catch.
I'm just seeing who else.
Hi, Tiffany and Jenny.
Yep. Hello.
And I will
know
tell you how to live your life, Jenny.
two of
or
us.
Tiffany.
Oh, I just hit the microphone. I'm not used to the setup. Two of the views are there. If you guys are watching, now that we've got a few people, feel free to get in on the conversation. We're here watching the chat live, so let us know what you think, and we might comment on it if it's not stupid.
Yeah. It'll probably be stupid.
It's probably stupid.
And I feel like the angry faces that we got were from Tiffany and Britton, and probably because I didn't say AT-AT.
Oh, thank you.
So
That would be a reason to divorce him, Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany.
You still at least have one husband.
You can always change him. You can always change him. Okay, moving on from that, another big one that we missed talking about. We didn't actually miss talking about it.
Somebody just missed uploading a whole episode.
An
a whole
entire
special
episode about it.
dedicated to
I thought
one
you had
with
the
our
first drive and
special
everything.
with our special guest who had won our contest. We still need to get
gosh,
through all
yeah.
of this shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, Suicide Squad. That thing.
We were actually after we missed that nice window after it was in theaters, we're like, well, we'll just release it whenever the Blu-ray comes out.
Right. And then the Blu-ray came out. And
I thought Penny had the
no. See, you kept telling us you were going to do that one, though. That one specifically.
Yeah. Because we still have, like, what, about 3 or 4
They're about-
episodes. We have our Alpha, Beta, that one, and
The
our
Alpha
last
and the
episode
Beta
that we
were
never...
always, like, down the road.
Yeah.
But, anyways, Suicide Squad. Let's bust through this one real quick. It's been out a while. And
actually
people have been talking about... Yeah. It's got Jared Leto and Margot Robbie right there.
Leto.
Personally, I wouldn't care if, like, tomorrow woke up and, like, the movie had never happened, nobody else remembers it.
Reboot!
And it's just me, and I'm like, you know what, okay, the world's a better place. Not that it was terrible. It's got redeemable. I liked El Diablo.
Yeah.
I like El Diablo. There's actually a lot of things
Captain
I liked about
Boomerang.
this movie.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things I disliked, a lot of things I think they should have done better. I mean, all in all, the story itself was very bland. It was.
Yeah.
There's nothing really there.
Oh, wow.
You really
the
crack
enchantress-
into it, there's no
the enchantress
substance.
turned.
Characters were fun. There's a few times where Will Smith as Deadshot wasn't just Will Smith. Like, there's a few times I'm like, hey, he kind of resembles Deadshot, not just Will Smith shooting guns
You
again.
mean on top of the car scene? And
That...
Oh,
and-
wow. Yeah, no, I will give this movie this. Because he's got the mask on during the scene and everything. He's on top of that car and he's just...
Yeah, wrist guns, like...
And it was
That's
just
dope.
so cool. Because that's Deadshot.
yeah.
Like, that's what you want. But that's not Will Smith. It could be any guy in a suit. Like, that's the problem. Is
And
that,
they did put the full white mask on him more than what I expected.
Yeah.
I kind of got to agree with Tiffany on this one. The stuffed unicorn was probably
my
the
God.
best actor.
Right.
Okay, I love that, but at the same time, I felt like that was like, okay, this is good. This movie's got to have some funny parts. What are some other things that were funny in other superhero movies? Let's look at Deadpool. What they got in Deadpool? Stuffed unicorns? We'll throw a stuffed unicorn in there. Like, it felt like they looked at Deadpool and was like, that made people laugh. Let's use that.
That's the problem with the DC.
I mean, yes, I
cinematic
understand.
universe
There's some
is that
things
they
that they
are-
do need to take.
Well, they're
But when
pandering.
it's extreme details, like a stuffed unicorn,
It's
a
not
little-
that they're just taking; it's that they're pandering.
Well,
They're like, "Hey, you guys, like fucking dancing monkeys?
Hey, you guys-
let's throw some dancing. Let's put Detective Chimp in the
You
new
guys like
Batman movie."
superheroes. Kids want to buy some superheroes.
You guys want Legos? That's from a YouTube video. Anyways, no, I've got an entire problem with the whole lineup so far. The only movie I've been able to get excited for, and this includes Batman, Superman, Man of Steel, and I liked Man of Steel. What is Wonder Woman? That's the only one I'm looking forward to.
That theme song.
I watch them like they've been playing it in the trailers too. Watch them cut it out of the movie. I'll be so pissed.
No.
I'll be like,
flip fucking tables.
start ripping out theater seats.
And I know you're not, but like as far as the DC EU goes, the more I'm seeing of Justice League, at least visually, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And me and you disagree a lot on the DC movies, which is completely fine. I love that. I love that we're able to like, no, fuck your shit. No, fuck your shit. And at the end, they'd be like, no, that was a critical scene, though, wasn't it?
Batman was the world's not greatest detective in Batman vs Superman.
We've already covered all that.
Yeah.
We're gonna...
what you're talking about is the new image that came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and like there's actually a couple. There was the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Batman shot where it's just the three of them, and apparently they're looking at a hive of parademons, what the article said.
Okay.
And then there's the group shot of them
And
walking.
Flash
in.
looks hungry. The Flash looks
hungry and startled.
Like,
What's that? Is that a sandwich?
No, and then there's the one with all five of them, and I don't like it. It's so offset. Like every single one of them, you can. I think the only two that look like they would belong in the same image is maybe Flash and Batman, and that's not right. The Flash should not be that dark toned. Why is Wonder Woman
It did
glowing?
look like each one was taken individually, and they photoshopped them in. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like we finally get to see like Cyborg in more detail.
Which I thought the detail on Cyborg was great.
It's sweet because the teaser that we got so far, what they showed of him,
was him being put together.
yeah, that was even
Cyborg
finished
looks
CG
like
yet.
the new Power Rangers shit
What
to
do you
me.
expect?
Like,
They can't go practical.
what
with it.
I expect is like if they're gonna CG it like it's the comics, like fucking paneling and the cool like sleekness, but still constructiveness. You know what I mean?
Well, most of New
Oh,
52,
Cyborg?
it's,
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Cyborg, not
more
like
sleeker
it's a
and-
mesh of metal that like it is
Well-
not metal cooler. All right.
Well, but I mean, as far as like the
Get out of him.
I saw that.
Casting has gotten chopped.
how's it right now? Are we still choppy?
Is it working?
Jenny or anybody?
While Odle works out this thought.
Like the newer versions of Cyborg,
Yeah.
from where he absorbs the mother box, and
Well, yeah, they're using the New 52
Yeah.
stories. A little more.
but
I'm not saying that there's
isn't that
nothing
more
to like.
Tube-esque because he is able to do what I would almost call shape-shifting of his entire body.
Mhm.
So I mean that would kind of make more sense to not have all of those plates and more of the style that what they had that what we saw in that image.
I've been saying this like for a while now. I want to see the heroes as they are in the books before we start taking liberties. Like, I mean, with Batman, it took years before they actually got to a movie that actually seemed like some of the books. Like, because Keaton's Batman was totally different thing.
It was.
I don't know. I love that movie. I love Batman Returns.
I love him.
Same thing
I love
with-
him. I think more out of nostalgia factor by this point because you go back and look at him. I could pick apart the Burton movies.
Yeah.
Like you could BVS, and I love the Burton movies. Like those are my favorite Batman movies. But still, go back look at it. Like we're gonna talk about Batman killing people. He did a lot in both of those movies. Too, I mean.
Yeah, Burton didn't care.
Burton gave no fucks.
So, but it's just this image, the sizzle reel that they showed, like everything just seems so off. Everyone seems so off, and
My
it's
whole
like
thing was
Wonder
Batman
Woman
was
is
too jokey. He was
right. Batman's too jokey.
Yeah.
The Flash is too timid.
Aquaman's too fierce.
Yeah, it's
He's just angry and
Which-
drunk all the
okay.
time. I think I'm gonna like him.
To be fair,
Dad?
in Rebirth,
Daddy?
Aquaman is one of the biggest badasses
we're down
of
to
the
4
Rebirth
now.
series right now.
Some
of the stuff I've
still
seen,
haven't read any Aquaman.
Like
and I
the
know
one
it's better than it used to be.
Yeah, the one panel that always sticks out in my mind to like illustrate, okay, he's a badass now, is when someone throws a spear at him, a harpoon, through his shoulder, and he's up against like a pier pillar, and he just rips himself through the other end of that spear.
I have not seen that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I gained a lot more respect for Aquaman there.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, it all seems off. I have no faith. No faith in the Aquaman movie, no faith in the Batman movie, no faith. Especially with, like, what? Why is it every week there's a new story of, like, Affleck's getting to it, Affleck's not getting to it, Affleck might get to it,
and
Affleck's thinking about getting
Well, I have
to it.
respect for what he's doing right now, which is he's flat out said, like, if the script isn't good, I'm not going to make this movie. I'm not going to make a half-ass bullshit Batman.
But you know what I read when I read that? I read, like, it's not coming together right. We keep trying.
That's exactly what I read too, which is fine.
It scares
if it's not coming together right, and he says, okay, if it's not coming together right, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
Then he's on our side.
They'll get someone else too. That's DC.
Okay.
That's Warner Brothers. They'll get someone else too.
But regardless, if they want that movie made, it's going to be made.
Yeah.
Whether Affleck's fucking directing it or fucking anybody.
And not
Shyamalan.
Oh my God! Please.
Although, to be
Real
fair,
quick, talking about M. Night Shyamalan, let me tell you this quick little thing. Me and Becky sat down to watch that new Split movie the other night, right? On the Amazon Fire Stick. Sat down, hit play on it. We're watching a good 20 minutes into it. And Becky's like, I don't think this is the same movie. It's just about bowling. Hence the name Split. So it took us a good 20-25 minutes to realize, like, oh, this isn't even the same movie. But we still sat there and finished it, though. We were already invested. We had to.
from what I hear, it's a great movie.
Well, let's go ahead and move on from films we've seen to films we want to see.
Well, going into that same subject of films we want to see, we had this little side note up here to go back to Star Wars real quick
we forgot to mention this,
without going off on a tangent again. We have some casting news for one of the next Star Wars story
anthology movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Donald Glover has been cast as Lando Calrissian. Now, if you don't know who Donald Glover is, you might be familiar with Community, and he is on there.
Wasn't he in?
plays
Didn't he
Troy.
do some College Humor movies or
I
some
think so.
videos? There's one specifically
Probably.
called Memory Loss. That's like a play on Memento.
And he's on
It's
another
not
show, too, that's
it's-
really popular.
It's not a dick. It's a mouth-based video game.
Oh, yes.
Is that
okay,
him?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Because you sent me that one, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's him. But anyways, he's been cast as Lando Calrissian, and honestly, like,
He's
unlike
actually in this movie right here.
is he?
Yes,
Did he
he's
get
actually
cast?
he's in the trailer.
Okay. You'll have to point that out to me.
I will.
But
I'm just gonna find that
my
while you're
screen go
talking.
black. Anyways, unlike with DC, Warner Brothers, anything like Disney is doing with Marvel or Star Wars at this point, I'm okay with.
Full faith in.
They could have been like, hey, we're gonna put him in whiteface, and I'm like, you know what? Do it. Do it. I want it. You
Donald
got this,
Glover
guys.
is playing young Han Solo. He's actually playing young Leia.
I want it because if they're touching it, it's got to be gold. At this point, I'm on board.
Show me on Alan where they're touching it.
But yeah, it should be really great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna be in that. But yeah,
Just look it up.
there's this one part.
Magic
What?
Mike.
Oh wow.
Double A.
Okay. Well, he's
Yeah.
not everyone can be in good movies.
All right.
Well, anyways, the one thing that makes me totally okay with this, not just Disney, but it's there's a scene in Community where they're doing these paintball episodes, and one of the paintball episodes, he comes in and they thought they had lost one of their guys, and Jeff is the guy, and he walks in, and Donald Glover turns right around and he's like, Jeff, you son of a bitch. And it's just a perfect Lando moment.
Lando,
even his
going up to
voice,
Han or something.
Yeah, even his voice. It just, I went back and watched that scene after I heard the news, and I was like, okay, he's going to be good. I can't wait. Anyways, moving on. Actually, this is a great transition into what we're going to talk about. Movies we want to see. Movies that aren't out yet. Trailers. We missed a lot of great trailers. And Donald Glover...
We've actually missed trailers that the movies came out for since our absence.
True. But Donald Glover is also going to be in Spider-Man Homecoming. And wow... that fucking trailer!
Oh my god!
It's gonna be perfect. I know it's gonna be perfect. This is
I already fell in love with our new Spider-Man during Civil War.
Yeah. Right, it was easy.
He's the perfect young Peter Parker,
and he is. And I've said this before. It's I love that we're gonna have that Daniel Radcliffe fucking Harry Potter effect. We're gonna watch him start as this young man in high school, and gonna grow into a young adult.
So long as Sony doesn't start acting like a bunch of assholes.
Fucking
just possible.
Leave it alone, Sony. Speaking of which, real quick, did anybody else see that Deadpool and Spider-Man finally kissed?
Oh,
Ryan Andrew Garfield at the Grammys?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's yes, just for those fans that have been wanting that to happen.
But anyways, now the movie looks great. Michael Keaton, the Vulture.
Instantly, just to make Michael Keaton's.
I will say this: I'm not being blind to the fact that the Vulture is way fucking different than he's supposed to be.
He's very droney.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking your classic Vulture is scientist who built some tech and became evil.
He has the furry collar. He has the furry collar. That's all
I mean, okay, the suit looks great, and Michael Keaton looks scary as fuck.
Michael Keaton kind of is scary.
If Michael Keaton, bald Michael Keaton, were in an alley, just standing there breathing.
He actually, I watched some Becky watched some Lifetime movie a few years back where he was the bad guy, and the main character, some blind woman, and he's a bad cop or whatever, but he was fucking terrifying in that dude. It was a Lifetime movie. So I can't wait to see him as a villain again.
I think that he's grown into that, because again, I love these movies, but Batman Michael Keaton, a younger Michael Keaton, doesn't scare me.
No,
he's not
and
scary.
even prior to that, he was known for comedy.
Yeah,
so,
he was definitely built into it, which is why the movie got a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But as he's grown older, he's grown physically into this very scary dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
he just has that air about him that he walks into the room and he's going to fuck something up.
And we're gonna have Tony Stark in the movie, which seems great. These two work off of each other so fucking well.
My thing is that I don't want all of Spider-Man's tech and everything that Spider-Man has to come from Tony.
Well, that's not all from Tony. He invented the web shooters.
And I would be completely fine with Tony financing all this, but I want to see Peter coming up with some shit, some of his true genius finally showing on.
Maybe
screen.
They're back at Stark Tech and he's talking about the suit and how much he loves it. He's like, but I was thinking, maybe this part of my boot could do this thing.
Yeah, or even while they're there figuring all this out, he sees some project Tony's working on. He's like, I still haven't cracked it yet. And then he goes in, fucking figures it out. And then Tony realizes, shit, this kid's a fucking genius.
Because he's supposed to be Reed Richards level intelligence.
Yeah, he's supposed to be that smart, dude. And so far, what we've seen in the Tobey Maguire movies and Andrew Garfield movies is the kid's smart, but not
the only
on
thing
that
we've really
level.
gotten from either of those series is the photographer Peter Parker.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, don't worry about being lost. We're going over so many different topics.
Right now, we're talking about new movie trailers, and I think the one that we're on right now, if we're not counting all the tangents we're going off on, is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, we're talking Spider-Man Homecoming right now. Oh my god. I watched that trailer for I think 5 or 6 times the first day it came out.
Yeah.
It looks that good. If you haven't seen it, go watch that trailer. Even the international one. I mean, just from every single part of it, from when he's fighting the Vulture, where he's holding that ship. Wow, just It's going to be a thrill ride. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a thrill ride. It's going to make you finally fall in love with Spider-Man on screen. Because Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, but like not as believable as Spider-Man. Like even when he's talking his banter, like now that I go back and watch it, I'm like, he comes off kind of whiny.
Yeah. like some of it's good.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to drink some of your special daddy juice.
Mm-hmm. What he means by daddy juice is only daddies produce it.
I don't know if Vinny likes that special juice.
He loves it.
It's the grown-up juice.
He loves the kind.
And then, like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he had the quick
He
wit.
was a great Spider-Man.
He was a great Spider-Man.
He was. I thought so.
And just that part with the mugger in the first movie was so great.
Yeah.
My only weakness, small knives. You got it. Why are you doing nothing? Yeah, bring it into a car. I don't remember the line. And then in Amazing Spider-Man 2, all this like all the banter with Max.
And I think that one catches a lot more hate than what it should.
It really shouldn't. I loved that movie. It was poor. I will say this: it was poorly structured as it was trying to fit too much in.
Yeah.
To top off exactly what you just said, did you realize that Mary Jane Watson was also supposed to be in that movie, and they finally cut it out because they're like, yeah, there's a little bit too much going on.
Honestly, look, what I was saying was they should have branched out the death of Gwen Stacy into the third movie.
They should have.
Yeah.
But they were going to add in Mary Jane into that movie as well. So like Peter was going to kind of have that like, should I be with her? Should I be with her? But they cut it out not only because there's too much going on, but they figured the death of Gwen Stacy wasn't going to be as effective in that movie. And the chick from the Divergent series, you know what I'm talking about? Same one that played in that Secret Life American Teenager show. She was supposed to play Mary Jane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could see it. I could see her redhead.
I
can dig it.
Okay.
I only feel
Dan.
I
completely agree, Dan, to your comment wholeheartedly.
Well, now Dan, you're making some good points here, but I'd like to add a few equals.
It's a well-rounded statement. It's very long in your explanation,
but
real girthy in detail.
When it all comes together, you get to the point.
Yeah, when it comes to a head. It was. Okay.
Anyways, the thing I feel robbed about, like, and I'm loving what we're getting now. I'm loving why it happened and what came out of it, but we didn't get the Sinister Six.
No, we didn't.
I wanted the Sinister Six so bad.
We've gotten that build up 2 different times,
right? Right. That's where the Tobey Maguire series was supposed to go. The Sinister Six,
and then it with the Amazing Spider-Man, and that's I think why it crashed is because it tried to build up to it too quick, and we had our Sinister Six announcement and all that, and everyone was excited, especially walking into that vault towards the end of the movie and seeing the tentacles, seeing the glider,
and that's
the Vulture suit.
Sam Raimi had a good 6-movie plan, and although he didn't care for the symbiote storylines, he was willing to make that the finale. But he wanted to branch out these villains to bring the Sinister Six out, which if he was killing them left and right, why the fuck was it? Like, why did he kill Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus? Like, the 2 heads of the organization.
Yeah.
Either way. But yeah, he had a 6-movie plan, and then they just kept forcing him into stuff, and then eventually they shoved that symbiote cock right down his throat, and he said, you know what? Fine, I'll take it, but I'm not giving you the reach around.
No reach around.
And now it's all history. But and so I feel like that's what they were trying to do, was like, we want the Sinister Six, like, we don't know if we're going to make it to a 3rd movie. Let's get this out.
Well, because we got what? We got Electro, Green Goblin, and Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And then
Rhino was just a cameo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in Spider-Man 3, we have what? Sandman, Hobgoblin, and...
No. New Goblin.
New Goblin. The fuck ever. He's Hobgoblin.
Right.
What else on Spider-Man?
We already put it into the floor.
But I think this round, because we know that we're getting Vulture and Shocker in this one. So they're starting with his first 2 villains. So we're off to a better start than we have been.
Yeah.
I think this being back at home.
I'm glad they didn't throw a fucking goblin in here quite yet. It's kind of like with Batman and the Joker. It's like there's so many other fucking villains. Like let's put this one back.
Honestly, if they want to do the goblin, they should wait till he's out of high school.
Yeah.
That would be a great time. Mm-hmm. Especially transitioning to college. Like, he should be dating at that time and stuff. And not jump into Death of Gwen Stacy. Because we got it. It was effective. So we don't need that right off the bat. But plus, I think they're skipping over Gwen's face.
Yeah, because we're already getting Mary Jane. So I don't think we're going to get Gwen.
I think they're going right for Mary Jane.
Well, in Homecoming, it's not going to be either Mary Jane or Gwen. It's going to be, what is her name?
Are you talking the Latina chick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's Mary Jane Watson.
No, it's not. It's been announced that it's not Mary Jane. It is it's a whole other character that apparently, I mean, she's a pre-existing character in the comics, but it's not Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy.
Well, we got.
Well, while you're looking,
name is Michelle.
Huh?
Her name is Michelle.
That's her character's name.
Zendaya.
That's the character's name or the actress?
Her character's name is Michelle.
The actress's name is just one word. This is one name.
It's like Beyonce or Madonna.
We get Flash Thompson though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Going into the next trailer because we're running.
Yeah. We need to clinch it up a bit. I mean, we knew this was going to take a while. Though.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the next trailer. More Marvel Gold, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Volume 2.
This movie, just from that first trailer, just looks hilarious. Like, oh my god!
Does anybody have any tapes?
We'll put tape over the death button.
No,
I
am Groot.
Can we just appreciate the fact that Raccoon is dealing with being a single father for a second? Can we just appreciate that?
I never thought of it on those terms. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is great. Wow.
I love Baby Groot too. Just like I am Groot. He's running off with the bomb. And he's whooping the shit out of that guy.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Where he's on Rocket's back.
Yeah.
So the scene
it's pretty much a flipped. Yeah,
it's a callback.
I forgot about that.
Drax looks funny.
Of course.
I am a little worried though that they're gonna try and make him too funny because Drax is bad.
Drax was funny in the first movie unintentionally. I mean, yes, there were some things that they definitely set up, but it's like everything, like they said in the first movie, it goes over his fucking head. Like everything is like.
What's going on, Mark?
He takes things. What's up, Jenkins? Takes things too literal. So things were funny when it wasn't a joke being said.
And now you can argue he's been with this group for a little while, so maybe
he did pick up on some.
He's picked up on some stuff,
well,
but it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't become too thick, too prominent.
Yeah,
because they got that "screw you" spaceship scene. You've got him laughing about Peter Quill's secret. The hug thing.
I thought that
we
scene...
do, Mark. We do. You can actually, if you pay for the premium membership, you get full access to that.
Right. Yeah.
He's right.
We're going to send you some links. A couple coupon codes, too. Just for you, big guy.
One thing I'm excited for about this movie is we're going to have Tango and Cash in a fucking Marvel movie. We're having Stallone.
Oh, I forgot Stallone was in this movie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. He wasn't in the trailer, though.
No, he's not.
No, okay. I was going to say,
we also have Kurt Russell in this movie.
Yeah, okay. That one I knew. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is Tango and Cash.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Do you know who I want Stallone to be?
Ego's Living Planet. Oh, shit.
Wait a minute.
I thought they already had him cast for a while now.
He is, but I don't know if they ever announced what they have.
I don't think it's Stallone. I think Stallone's going to be a bad guy. Anyway, I hope he's a bad guy.
I hope. He's Nova.
Oh my god.
Nova.
Peter Quill, you'll save the universe.
Y'all are the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't think they're that stupid. I mean,
He never wears the mask. He never has the helmet on. It's always adjacent, but he's never wearing it.
But I do have faith in James Gunn, dude. Like, I love James Gunn.
You know why he would be Nova?
Why?
Because he is the law.
Wrap it up, guys. I don't think we can top that one. I'm out. Fucking play that badass outro music.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks great, and there's still so much more that we have to find out. They've been pretty close-lipped about this one.
For the most part, they have. I mean, I've been finding out little details about them, about this film, but for the most part, no, we haven't.
He has to ride backwards in a flatbed. Well, he does have a truck.
I do.
Throws it over his shoulder.
Actually, no, it's the complete opposite. I have to build myself a little wagon out of Legos, and I don't even need it. It's just to make myself feel better.
He doesn't even need the Legos. He just does it for fun.
Like you know those videos on YouTube where people make all the little miniature food and stuff. I keep
Legos?
miniature everything around to make everything look bigger. You know?
But yeah, no, it looks great. And another movie.
Your wife just said that we need to go out, or maybe she said we keep going out. I'm not sure which. I'm pretty sure your wife was hitting on me.
Well,
either that or she's on to us.
She likes it.
Like, how badly? Tell us how badly, Tiffany. While we go on to the next trailer.
Oh my God, Logan. All right, we've had multiple trailers since our hiatus. Let's talk about the most recent.
Yes,
because the most recent took all the main points of the previous ones, plus gave us.
Although that Johnny Cash trailer was so fun.
Yes, it was. Pretty much, you put Johnny Cash's hurt on any fucking trailer, I love. And ironically, the next movie we're talking about, the next trailer we're talking about, their first trailer they released had a Halsey song. That was a cover of a Johnny Cash song, and it worked great with that one too.
But Logan, this is the first Wolverine movie I think I've been truly excited for.
Me too.
Origins looked great before.
I was excited for Origins.
I don't think I was really excited.
The Wolverine came out, I'm just like, yeah, and I waited for it to come out on video. And after watching it, I'm like, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought.
Too many people have
mostly in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That
Too many people have complained about Silver Samurai and that. I get why, but you also have to understand the cinematic universe they set up. They've been trying to make the X-Men in these movies far more practical, like real, making them more realistic for the over-exaggerated like form of superhero they are. Like, so for Silver Samurai just being an old dude in a suit, it makes enough sense.
Yeah.
The way they set it up was not terrible. But this movie...
First off, X-23, I'm excited for.
Wow. And we had talked about... Did we talk about this on the podcast? I'm not sure.
I don't think you did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, but I had a lot...
talked about this a good
I had a lot of reserves about X-23. I was so worried about that. I was so worried that she was just going to be a little part of the movie, and then they were going to do like an X-23 movie later on. But that is all gone. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. It seems like they're doing exactly what you should do with X-23.
Yes. And this movie's supposed to take place how many years after the future part of Days of Future Past? I think it was like 10 years or something. It's supposed to be like 20 something.
Yeah,
Wolverine still has his healing factor. It's just slower, and he gets scars from it now.
Yeah.
Most of the mutants are gone. Here's kind of what I think is going on. Where Professor Rex is a little fucked up. I think he was hooked up to Cerebro, some kind of virus, something happened, and it fried, and when it went haywire, where he was connected to all these mutants, took out all these fucking mutants as well.
It's possible.
From where we're getting ready for the Inhumans movie, this could bring into play the Terrigen Mists.
We're not getting an Inhumans movie anymore.
No, they said they weren't doing it, and then they said they were doing it again.
Oh, we're back
on
it
again. But the Inhumans movie is connected to the regular Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, and as of right now, the X-Men Fox universe is not.
Yeah, they're so far removed.
I mean,
although that sucks, because I want to see Wolverine and Spider-Man so bad.
Yes.
No.
I am not Jesus.
That's The Walking Dead. That's Image.
Speaking of which,
Old Man Logan.
Well, no, okay, and that's if I have any other concern about this movie is that they might be trying to do too much at once because they're doing Old Man Logan. They've shown there have been some screenshots
because they can't even do close up.
They've shown some screenshots of some very specific imagery from Death of Wolverine. And then they're doing the Laura Kinney Uncanny X-Men / NYX run stuff. Although she's a little younger than because when she first gets to Wolverine, isn't she?
Tiffany said that we have stopped.
Yeah, because she's already
completely.
Yes,
it's still going for us.
I'm still watching.
Yeah, it's maybe it's just you, Tiffany. Maybe this is your problem.
Oh, we just got a heart from someone
for accosting your wife. Oh, you know what?
You know what, Tiffany? Maybe you're the problem.
He shifted the blame around on her. I like that.
Maybe it could be our internet. It's been fucking up left and right lately.
Do you have Frontier?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to talk about Frontier.
Well, before we do, anything else you want to talk about Logan? Overall, I'm fucking excited for
it. It's very excited.
Can we appreciate the fact that Patrick Stewart says fuck?
No.
No? Okay.
I figured there's going to be a lot of F-bombs. There's going to be a lot of cussing, even when it's not necessary because, hey, it's rated R.
They can't.
The only reason I'm not okay with it is because where the hell is any of this shit in the other movies aside from one? Fucking X-Men First Class and they're going to recruit Wolverine. He tells them to fuck off. That's it.
And that was the only reason he agreed to do that movie is because he said, after finding out he was allowed to say fuck off.
But the gap...
And they're allowed to having one fuck because it was PG-13.
The gap between the first movies and that one, and then the gap between that movie and this one, with all this other, all these other people who probably would say fuck, and Wolverine himself not saying fuck, where the fuck was it before? And I feel like it's going to be in the movie a little more than what we've seen in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it is cool. I like seeing Patrick Stewart say fuck.
I do too.
I just like Patrick Stewart.
That's why I like watching. The main reason I like watching American Dad anymore is to hear what Patrick Stewart is going to say.
Speaking of Patrick Stewart, first off, you do know there's an emoji movie coming out, right? Yeah. He's been casted.
The poop emoji.
As the poop emoji. All right, to the next
Moving on. Something I'm a little less excited for.
You're less excited? I'm actually pretty excited
since
for this
the trailer came out. I was more excited the first time I saw the trailer, and then I've seen it a couple times since, and now I'm starting to...
There's a few things in the trailer I'm just like, yeah.
We're talking about Power Rangers, by the way. Of course. We seem to just keep going.
I think one of the reasons I'm more excited for it, and I can't lie, is because my son, my youngest there, is obsessed with anything and everything Power Rangers. Mainly Mighty Morphin, but he likes the new Dino Force and some of the other new ones. But
yeah. I don't know. Okay, here's what's getting me. The suits look a little better than I thought they would, but they're totally CGI. I don't care if those actors are in physical suits. They've obviously layered on the CG over top of them. Alpha 5. The voice, the look, ew. Fuck, no. No.
The voice is the guy from, was it Trainwreck? And... it's that same guy.
Can't remember. He was one of the voices for BB-8.
Is it Bill Hader? Why is it Bill Hader?
Bill Hader. That's who it is.
Why the hell is Bill Hader Alpha 5?
Why the fuck is Heisenberg Zordon?
Yeah, but did you see him in that trailer? He's pulling it off. It works.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like? You know what it looks like? Yeah. You know those things you get at the fucking store, the pins? That's what it looks like.
I'm cool with that though. That's the it was kind of updating.
And what is this? What is this shit where Zordon's supposed to be the original Red Ranger?
I don't know if anything has ever been confirmed on that.
There's been a few articles.
No, I never heard that.
Yeah, there's been rumors.
This Zordon is supposed to be the OG Red Ranger, and
I don't know. We never really find out about Zordon's background.
No.
Before, so I mean that's a really cool way to maybe he was the first Power Ranger.
The putties.
That would have been cool.
After seeing their initial design and everything, because whenever Lucas from Inner Geek was telling us, because I haven't got to see the image for him yet, or what they looked like whatsoever. He was like, yeah, they could have rebar in them and shit. Like, ew, what?
Like the way that those.
And then after I
toys
seen
look,
the picture of what it was of the toy, it's like, okay, it looks like maybe the scene that they show up, like she summons them out of like some kind of like construction site. No, what it seems like in the trailer, she's just like the road, putty.
Yeah. Like,
Which is cool. Which is fine with me.
I'll give it that.
Goldar looks pretty cool.
No.
In it, as far as like the same universe where these suits are existing, like as far as that design goes, he looks cool for that.
I'm not.
But are they even going to call it Goldar, or is that the only hint we're going to get? Was, man, that's a lot of gold.
I fucking hate Goldar so much. Like, okay, it doesn't have to be a fucking
like
blue monkey man in a goddamn golden armor suit, but it needs to be at least human looking.
Yeah.
Like something, you know, like no, not just like seriously. It looks like she just dumped gold on one of those like you know those art mannequin things?
Yeah.
It looks like you just dumped gold.
It kind of
on
does,
it
yeah.
and, like tried to pull some out for some wings. And that's it.
What I'm thinking this could be is this might be one of the first like machine creations of hers. Instead of like, okay, she always raises these putties or whatever. So something like
I just want to know why she picked gold, because gold is the actual fucking mineral, the metal is soft. Why would you go for a soft ass metal for this giant thing that's going to be fighting a robot? She
doesn't know that.
This is kind of the way I look at Star Wars right now. I'm just like, I'm excited enough for it that I'm like, okay, whenever it comes out, I'm going to go watch this. And I'm going to be like, have not necessarily high hopes, but like go into it with a positive attitude. Now, this could be one of those movies where either A, it's going to be so much better than what I expected, or B,
Mark Webb's here.
So much worse than what I expected.
Well,
and I figure either way, fuck it. Like, we're going to have it, whether we like it or not. Same way with Ghostbusters, same way with Turtles. Any of these fucking reboots or any of these remakes or fucking continuations, whatever you want to call it, we still have them.
I'm glad.
We have, like, we're going to have to fucking deal with it. So let's go watch it, and hopefully it's going to be good.
I'm glad you brought up Turtles, because that's exactly how I'm treating it. When the first Michael Bay Turtles came out, I expected it to be terrible. And I went into the theater, I was like, you know what, let's just get on neutral ground. Let's just go in with it exists. Not it's going to be bad, not it's going to be
exactly
good.
how I went in with Ghostbusters, and I'm glad I did.
And I went in that way, and I came out, and I loved that movie. In my review, Old versus New for, I ended up siding with that movie on so many more levels than the original Ninja Turtles movie. And I'm not saying I don't love that one. I still like that one better. But like as a movie, it seems like the new one was better constructed.
It was.
And then the sequel happened. But
yeah.
Fucking Casey Jones, man. All right.
You had to Steven him out.
Back to Power Rangers.
Yeah. And that's how I'm going to treat this movie. And I'm hoping I don't come out of it like Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was cool, but
it was fun.
It was that.
It was fun. And after watching it the first time, me and you talked about it a few times. You're like, man, like I kind of can't stop thinking about this movie. Right? That last scene was dope. Like, and then I watched it a second time. It did not hold up.
I still have not seen it a second time. I'm worried about that.
I have if you ever want to watch it. But
I've got
watching it the second time. It was like I just kind of want to fast forward to the cool scenes,
right? It was so much more action packed.
Alicia, I don't know what you're zing over, but if we're boring you, I mean, one of us could
get naked. A podcast is about talking.
We could bump the entertainment level up a little bit.
You know how I know you're gay? How? Tell us, Alicia.
Why? Because I give you a reach around when you're mounting me.
That was tacked on.
It was tacked.
That was bad. Anyway,
all right. We're all stopped waiting for Alicia. How?
How?
Because you're so gay, you put the anus in gayness. I love you, Mark. I do.
Nice.
I feel like they're tag teaming us now.
They are.
That's how they know we're
It wouldn't be the first time we got tag teamed on this, too.
What the fuck did you write here?
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
That's
moving
very
on. So another one we're really excited for,
And I have no shame to be excited for.
No shame, and I'm excited for everything else to come out afterwards, especially since seeing the Jungle Book. Have you guys seen the Jungle Book yet?
Absolutely not.
Fucking watch the goddamn
It's
Jungle
on
Book.
Netflix, and I keep forgetting it's
Come
on
on,
Netflix.
dude. I mean, you got kids. You guys got
I know.
kids. Come on.
Shit, I got kids.
I think I left them outside. How many hours is it?
That's how I watched that. I sat the boys down. We watched Jungle Book.
Tiff watched it without me.
It was really good. Tiff.
Fucking Tiff.
How dare you be an individual at any point and do anything?
This is why I don't have.
You should be sitting there waiting for him to come home.
She sits around and waits for him to come way too much anyway.
Just stare at the wall. Then you get to be a person.
Oh, Mark loves us and our shoes.
My shoes are awesome. They're Star Wars shoes.
Mine are
just Chuck Taylor's.
fucking boots.
With gum sole.
Whoa!
Whoa! I
Anyways,
need to pee.
while he's peeing, I'm gonna steal his pen. Anyways, no, Beauty and the Beast. It looks great. Emma Watson. Have you watched the video where she's singing?
Yeah.
I can't remember what song it was. Exactly what the name of it is, but
I know the one you're talking. Like it was a still image, but it was just her singing the song.
yeah,
Yes, that was
it
phenomenal.
looks
I loved it.
beautiful.
Like
just the set design
And
alone.
the way that they're doing all of the little characters, like Lumiere, Cogsworth.
I was so worried they were going to like manipulate them to where they're more like humanoid.
See, I wasn't worried about that. Like I knew that it was going to be pretty much all CG, but I was worried they were going to look too cartoony. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But they don't. They're well polished. They
like they fit every scene.
yeah.
Like they fit the look of the entire castle. Like everything just blends so well.
Now,
from
one
what we
thing
see.
I will say is the Beast seems to stand out somewhat as far as CG goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks.
Like
Not that he looks bad. If everything else that was CG looked as bad as that, then it would be bad. But it would be more acceptable. But no, everything else is like really well
Then again,
polished. And then
granted,
you got this cartoon.
they
beast.
could go practical effects with him, but I don't know how well that would fit everything else. I mean, like a guy in a big suit matching. Like
It looked like that. It looked like that shitty '90s series with the chick that played
Sarah Connor in Terminator.
They could polish it. I mean, they could sprinkle some CG on there, but oh god, I should have known.
Yes.
The minute I said it. They put some they sprinkle some CG on, but make it mostly practical. Like a lot of stuff in Star Wars. Star Wars is always a great. When we talk about special effects, you can always go back to Star Wars because
From the beginning.
from the
Like,
beginning they've been like cornering the market and originating all new stuff. Because either it just didn't exist or they couldn't get their hands on it the expensive way. That's your pen that I stole,
I know.
Bob.
I'm glad to mark this out because we pretty much covered most of that whenever we were talking about there.
But it looks wonderful. I'm sold on CG. I don't even care if this is a plot to revive the Nazi Party and enslave us all. I'm
it
in.
is.
I'm in. Bob, are you too far off? I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck it.
But fuck it.
And honestly, with this movie, I wasn't expecting them to really go with any practical effects. If they did, very little. I mean, we're talking teapots and clocks.
And now I was worried about the Jungle Book that they weren't going to do any musical numbers.
One thing that bothers me
thought it
about
was
the
just
Jungle
gonna be a
Book,
straight-
it's a live action movie, right?
Yeah.
I think the kid is the only live action part of the whole fucking movie. The rest of it isn't live action. If you think
Wait a
about it,
minute.
it's all computer generated.
You're telling me that two-story orangutan with the voice of Christopher Walken was not an actual two-story orangutan with the voice of Christopher Walken?
Okay, now that was probably real.
That was probably real. That orangutan.
That was the only real thing.
Welcome, Tiffany, again. She's
I
the most dedicated viewer, mainly because she's just trying to keep tabs on you.
I think
Figure it out,
Mulan's
fucking
gonna be
around.
great.
Dude, I can't fucking wait to Mulan, dude. That
Mulan's
battle
gonna
at the end.
Oh.
Battle at the end is the only thing I want.
Is it bad that I'm more...
That, and I want to see in live action how she, kind of reverse training tricks that dude. Makes him fall in love with the dude and then realizes it's a female. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Is it politically correct to say trainee or call it training trick?
I think so.
Let's ask the audience.
I don't know.
Is it okay that I say trainee trick, or should I say hermaphrodite
reverse training
mystery theater?
Hermaphrodite mystery. Well, that's gonna be a new show that we do.
Coming in 2017 from Sorta My Brand. Copyright.
Is it bad that I'm more excited for the show tunes? I want to hear not be a man, but I'll make a man out of you. In live action. For some reason,
are they gonna do they should do a gritty reboot? So it's someone's getting just morbidly raped in the back. Make a man out of you.
The screen had to close its eyes for a minute. It's no.
Oh, Tiffany, let's update this to the whole world. She is moving by herself, pregnant, that is, and she's watching, and she's totally not bitter.
Well, at least she's not bitter.
Well, you know what? Okay, and I will say this. I thought about having call-in guests. Getting my brother involved. There's this guy I did a crossover with on YouTube, Orrin Bailey. He's blowing up right now. He's blowing up. Oh. The directors of Up. He just had an album come out. He's touring and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he still likes obscure little photos. Well, he's going to be played by Will Smith.
Oh, probably.
In the movie.
Probably.
Son of a bitch.
Anyways, I have no good transition from Beauty and the Beast to this next topic, but let's talk about the Iron Fist trailer.
Oh, God.
Let Odle take over the reins for just a moment.
Well, I mean, Odle is our resident Iron Fist expert.
Pretty much how I am with Batman and you are with Dix. Odle is with Iron Fist.
So,
I like to call him Bruce Willis.
You're going to have to excuse me because it's been a minute since I've watched it.
The trailer?
Yeah. But...
How dare you forget?
So, starting from the first one to what we have now, we know that we're getting a really good origin. And the clips that we see of him, standing there and his fist starts to glow. The certain things that he takes
Someone's
on,
getting
being
fisted.
Called, a living weapon.
Yeah, that was cool.
All these little things that tie into this trailer that are picked right from the comics, right from his origin. The helicopter crash, that comes from Iron Fist, the Living Weapon, the Marvel Now series. So we're getting all these little picks from these different series to come together to make this great show that I have 100% faith in because of everything else that Marvel's done on the screen.
Luke Cage...
Especially with fucking Netflix, man.
Luke Cage was great. Jessica Jones surprised the shit out of me. I loved that. And I'll be honest, I didn't know... I honestly had really no idea who she was. I thought the Alias comic books from Vertigo, or not Vertigo, but Marvel Max were about the TV show. Two completely separate things.
No correlation at all.
All I knew about Jessica Jones was that she was married to Luke Cage. And that's it. I didn't know she had superpowers. I didn't know she was a detective.
I actually personally know someone named Jessica Jones, and that's really the only Jessica Jones knowledge I had. So.
And then Daredevil has been just super. Yeah. Daredevil was so good that Marvel, on a weird twist of fate, because they almost never do this, stopped and changed the script just for the Punisher.
Yeah,
because he blew up.
Dude, it was so good. Yeah, I actually just recently showed somebody who's not familiar really with, as crazy as it sounds, not really extremely familiar with the MCU.
Yeah,
but he's seen a few movies and stuff. Actually, he's foreign. He only lived in the States for like 5 years, but he's a huge Punisher fan for some reason. I showed him that one scene in prison.
He was probably a fan of T-shirts.
That's exactly what it was. And then I started introducing him to little things here and there. But I showed him that scene in jail when they're all coming at him, and he's wearing that white shirt and stuff, and he's just shanking them all. So and by the end of it, after he stabs a dude in the face, and this dude's face falls on his chest, and he gets up, and he in blood. Use a fake Punisher skull, dude. Like, that whole scene.
Didn't one of you guys not catch that the first time around?
I didn't.
He must not, because I did whenever it first happened.
Yeah.
As soon as the dude's face hit his chest, I'm like, oh, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen.
I can't believe I missed it the first time. I think I was just caught up in the whole scene.
That and the fight scene in the first season, the hallway scene when he's going to rescue that kid.
Their fucking hallway scenes.
The hallway scene in the second movie is going down the stairs and he has the
hallway scenes in Luke Cage. Hallway scenes with Jessica Jones.
There's a stairwell scene in Civil War. So
that's I'm just waiting for the Iron Man.
Isn't that where Cap busts a Mandarin? Isn't that where Cap busts a cinder block on some dude's face?
No, chest.
Chest?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that definitely didn't harm him.
Body armor,
broken ribs.
Sure.
But anyways, Iron Fist looks great, and given what we've gotten from Marvel Netflix previously, it's just another case of like, you know what, I've gotten everything I wanted from this before. I trust you.
Do you know anything about this right here? This show? I wrote it down. I really don't know much about it. Do you have enough where you want to talk about it for a second?
I've heard some about it. I don't know exactly the plot or the story or anything. But it's
before we go into that, let's we got a couple more along the lines of what we were just talking about.
Okay, if you want to keep with that.
We got Luke Cage too. That came out since we've been gone.
Yeah.
And again, it was a great show. There
were so many like really good nods to everything about like him. I'm sorry. The biggest thing is when he stands up, when he first like goes through the experiment, and he has the tiara and he has the gauntlets.
No. When he's looking at himself in that fucking car and he's wearing the yellow shirt with all of that.
Yeah,
and he's like, I look ridiculous. Like. That is great.
It's so good.
No, the best part of that whole season, the best part of that whole show, is when he gets coffee with Misty Knight. Man, Misty is fine as hell, and gosh.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, Misty was the detective.
Yes, Misty Knight.
Yeah, she
that first episode, man.
Okay, if anything, Misty kind of starts wearing thin on me because she seems like a caricature.
Yeah.
Of a black cop in Harlem. You know,
I get it. A lot of that show kind of is
sassy black cop.
Very what's the word I'm looking for?
There's a lot of
the show is
I don't want to say stereotypical.
I'm not gonna say the show is racially driven. It's equality driven. It's meant to show that they're all on the same level. Like that's what Luke Cage keeps fighting for.
Well,
that
Luke
scene
Cage
when he's
is
standing in
Harlem's
front of,
hero.
Well, that scene where he's standing in front of the Christmas annex, and the dude comes up with the gun.
Christmas annex.
The Christmas annex.
Christmas annex.
Yeah, no, but they call it the Christmas annex. The building.
Yeah, it's the Christmas annex building.
Don't they call it the Christmas annex?
It's the Christmas Annex building, not the Christmas Annex
building. I completely heard that differently the entire show.
That's why subtitles are important sometimes.
We're going to use the subtitles.
I love subtitles. I have a lot of kids, so I have to use subtitles.
Thank you for... Well, I didn't know who the fuck that was before this show. Like... Oh, you did?
You didn't pay attention in history class, did you?
I know. You didn't know either. There's no way.
Yeah, I did.
I've never heard that name before in my entire life, like that story or anything.
Which one of us is Googling Christmas Annex for Vinny?
No, I mean, they explained it in the show. They explained who he was. Like, he gave that one kid...
And it's educational.
And it's education. He gave that one kid the history lesson on it. Anyways, that scene where he's standing in front of it and the dude calls him the N-word.
Yes.
And he just turns around and goes off on that guy.
That was
He's like,
really
that's what you
powerful
see
scene.
standing in front of this building named after a hero of our people. He's like, it just
It was a very
rips into him. It was really great. Yeah.
Like I said, it was a really powerful scene to see him like standing up against his.
I feel like this is our first street hero from Marvel.
Oh,
and I don't mean
it
like
definitely is.
he's from the streets, but like just the
street
way
level.
he operates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And another thing with the show, there's so much good imagery in this movie.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like there's this one scene. I think it's a first episode or two. Cottonmouth is up in his club, and he's looking over the club, and he stands just at that right distance away from that Biggie painting where the crown is cocked on his head. That's just like that quick second where it's like, where it shows that like he's the king right now in Harlem. This is the motherfucker that runs the streets. So here's this nice imagery.
And
to
what a
represent
surprise for him to not be the big bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which-
I'm not gonna say how.
No, because
I come across that, but
And you can ask Tiffany this. I kind of kicked myself a little bit for not realizing who Mariah really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not. That did not click until he.
I
yelled
started-
at her
I started-
and called her Black Mariah.
I
I'm like, oh my god!
I started piecing it together.
Probably about an episode or two before.
this is the first time one chick gets called Night Nurse too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is her name?
Claire.
You're talking about Rosario
Claire.
Dawson.
Yes.
Rosario Dawson is the only thing I know. That's
Claire. This
She's
is the
my
first time
all-time
she-
celebrity crush.
And
Like, for real, I don't care.
where she grabs the little self-defense number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we getting a Night Nurse series?
I don't
Have
think
you
so.
said
I think
anything
No, but
She'll
did you
probably play
guys-
a big part in Defenders and everything else too.
I'm glad you brought that up because did you see who was teaching that class?
No.
Colleen Wing, Iron Fist's sidekick, or like
Okay.
not not sidekick, but like it's one of Iron Fist's partners.
Okay.
Associates.
And it has the Iron
So
Fist.
guess who's
symbol
going to
on
be in her 5th Netflix Marvel appearance?
She's pretty much been the biggest connecting factor of all these Netflix
so
shows.
far
Is she
she's
a
been
good-
the only.
Is she a damn watcher?
Besides a
Is she a
slight,
watcher?
besides a slight little like name drop or something here
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
She's the only connecting factor in all these Netflix
Yeah.
shows.
Which leads us to Defenders. All we've really gotten from this is we got that teaser trailer.
As you are.
Yeah.
And
And then we've gotten an image of them standing outside of a van, which is very
Down by
like.
the river.
18.
No, I thought '90s teen show.
I
Because
thought-
like Jessica Jones,
thought
just
Free
like I don't
Candy
even
get in
care,
the
but
van.
I'm gonna look anyways. And Luke's like, I'm cool.
I was
I
like,
fucked her once.
I was briefly watching it on break at work. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw that, but there was a video attached about them talking about
I'm all out of
the
Jack in my
upcoming-
Jack bottle.
the upcoming series and just
Booze
about
run. Let's just leave
how,
it running.
how the different characters fit in and how like all this is going to happen. And from what I gather, Daredevil is going to be like so anti-teaming up at first.
Well, he's going to be the dark, brooding one out of the whole group.
He's
Right.
going to be the Batman.
Exactly.
He's got to be shit. What's his name from the Breakfast Club?
Oh,
God damn it, Becky would divorce me if she knew that I couldn't think of
What is?
flannel fingerless
What the hell is Judd Nelson?
Yeah,
He's Judd Nelson.
Forget about me.
He's gonna be Judd Nelson.
but based on what I saw from that, like it's gonna tie in really well together.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like episode 1 of the Defenders, like they're all gonna come together, or if it's gonna be a slow.
Or
build.
the whole series is kind of them finally getting together in the last few episodes.
I think
I wonder if Coulson's going to have to make a fucking appearance so they can kill him and he can pull out his fucking Luke Cage trading cards.
I think what they should do is make this one a little longer because most of the seasons are like
they're 13.
About
13
12 to
episodes.
13 episodes.
12 or 13 episodes. Maybe make this one somewhere around 17, maybe
20.
18, maybe 20, just to give it like 4 or 5 episodes to get them all.
Well, and
together.
If
then
not,
start the Defenders
what I
stuff.
thought they were going to do is like towards the end of each season, like towards the end of the Jessica Jones season, towards the end of the Luke Cage season, towards the end of Daredevil and stuff, they're going to start slightly like bringing like. I thought in Luke Cage they're going to name drop Danny at some point.
Yeah. I was waiting for it.
Like I thought they're going to start like slowly, kind of how we got Luke in Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
like we already got introduced to him, we already got very familiar with him, even with most of his like his skill set. Then by the time we got Luke Cage, we got thrown into like he's already who he is.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we already know, but we already realized who he was prior. But even without watching Jessica Jones, you can go and watch Luke Cage because they give you his origin.
And I know a lot of people who are intending on watching Luke Cage but don't intend on watching Jessica Jones. You are going to be a little confused.
Yeah, a little.
And not terribly confused, but especially during the beginning there, you're going to miss a lot of what they're talking about because of like what was going on in Jessica Jones. Plus, Jessica Jones is awesome. Watch it.
It really is. That's definitely one of the shows I was not expecting it to be.
It took me forever.
And it's honestly one of my favorite Marvel Netflix shows today.
Well, it's had one of the best Marvel Universe villains portrayed.
Oh my god, yes. Dude.
Like he did such a good job for playing such an unknown
Jessica.
villain.
I love David Tennant anyway.
Yeah.
Make David Tennant a fucking lovable bad guy, but not like, oh, he's funny, but it's like, God, he's so fucked up and sadistic.
Well, yeah.
And then there's times where it's, yes, you feel so sorry for him. And there's times where like, oh, no, fuck him.
Like, bring out different emotions. He can make you feel sorry for him and then immediately flip you around.
And especially if you're like a Doctor Who fan or anything, like if you were a Tennant fan prior, you have this love for Tennant because he's so fun and quirky. So once he's in this role, it's like not him whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking good.
And you can tell he loved it. Everyone loves playing the bad guy. They always have that. I mean, that's an old acting trope. It's always fun to play the villain.
Well, and the other thing I've noticed with these Netflix series is what they've done with the villains is they've made them very relatable. They've brought them like
yes.
Well, because we don't have these extravagant like Ultron and Thanos and all that. We have Kingpin. He's just a guy. Punisher. He's just a guy.
And what they did with Kingpin was really good.
Like everything.
He was a very like he wasn't just like in the Kingpin we see in comics, like big, just kind of intimidating dude. Like he was very fucking broken. There was a lot of backstory to him that like, and I'm not extremely familiar with Kingpin in the comics, but like I don't know if we ever seen anything like that as far as like his.
Since I've read a lot of Spider-Man, I've gotten to read a lot of Kingpin from there. But and actually I've read a lot of Daredevil too. So I'm more familiar with them than I thought. Okay, let's switch gears here and talk about something I don't think any of us really know anything about. That's Legion.
Okay, the only thing I know.
This is what I know. It's a show about a mutant.
Well, now, I do know it takes place within the X-Men cinematic universe.
Yeah.
It's a part of that.
It's going to be on what?
It's before Days of Future Past, after Days of Future Past.
I don't know.
Don't think about timelines.
Don't think about the continuity. Just
because
then we
know it exists and there's a Wolverine somewhere in this fucking universe along with
it. Almost seems like it's going to be like a television drama about a mutant discovering his powers.
I feel like it's going to go for 1, maybe 2 seasons.
Was it following Angel? Have we already gotten Angel?
You mean like from Buffy?
No, the X-Men.
As far as like in movies or anything?
Yeah,
like twice. We got him in, what was it, X2?
Yeah, and it makes no...
And then we got him again in Apocalypse.
God damn it. Fucking continuity.
Apocalypse wasn't bad. I enjoyed Apocalypse.
Yeah, no, it's not. I liked Apocalypse. I'm just saying that continuity.
Yeah, the continuity
hurts my fucking head.
I do like that they did try to like. This is why it's all.
You know what? Fuck it. Put him in Legion. Why not? Put him in Legion also.
Yeah.
But other than that, I know absolutely nothing about that show.
I mean, I'm all for new shit. You want to throw some comic book shit on TV?
I just don't
I'm for it.
care about it.
But it seems like there's only certain networks that I'm always like, that, like, fuck it, let him have it. Netflix obviously has not let us down.
Yeah.
CW, for the most part, knows their shit. Or at least, like, if they start stumbling, they listen, they try to correct it.
They're about to meet George Washington on Legends tomorrow. They're going back to 17.
I need to catch up so bad.
They're going back to 1776.
God, I need to catch up. But the shows that are on, like...
Do you want the plot summary?
It might as well, yeah. Just, I mean, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who don't know.
This will be on Fox, isn't it? I'm assuming since it's owned by Fox.
It was either Fox or USA or
something.
I'm
like 99%.
I don't know.
Okay. Is Fox.
David Haller, a.k.a. Legion, is a haunted man with power beyond comprehension. His power does not come free, but at the steep cost of David's mind. Plagued by numerous split personalities, each commanding a different aspect of his power, David is trying to find his way back to sanity. But he's getting tired and about to give up until he meets the girl of his dreams.
Okay, hold on. Let me get that right. So, he has split personality. Like, he's pretty much schizophrenic. But each one of those personalities have their own unique skill set? Is that what I got? Like, each one of their own power?
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
That actually does sound kind of cool. Like, you're mentally and emotionally unstable. So, you have multiple personalities. And each one of those personalities has their own fucking powers.
It's like Moon Knight on crack.
That's kind of dope.
Are you reading Moon Knight?
That's kind of dope. Like,
I should be, but
that alone, just that part of the description got me excited for this.
Yeah,
I just want to see some crazy multi-personality.
I mean, it's
pretty much like if the new M. Night Shyamalan movie had superpowers. Yeah. He might. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I watched a movie about fucking bowling.
It's a comic book series, so I was gonna watch it anyways.
I was gonna give it a shot. Yeah.
But now I'm a little excited for it. I still don't care. No. But I'm less apathetic about it than I was before.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. This next topic, for the longest time, I was up with you guys. Like, actually, me and you were the only ones that
kicked him out of the room before.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that, like, I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I know basically what happened. My biggest thing is, like, I've been drinking and I want a cigarette, and you guys are more knowledgeable. So,
okay.
I'm going to step off for a moment.
All right.
And, I'll return.
Another bunch of stuff that's been working for us are the CW TV shows. That being Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow.
Now, you stay caught up on Supergirl, right?
I stay caught up on all of them.
Okay.
And actually,
I've not been watching this season
in succession of air date too. I watch them when they air, just in case.
Supergirl, I've not been watching. I keep meaning to catch up on, but yeah. But as far as the others go, and especially with the 4-part crossover when all that happened, and they're like, oh yeah, here's a way to get back to us. That was so fucking great.
It was cheap but great.
It was.
They could have just been like, Flashpoint, fucked everything up, and now these two universes exist with each other.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
All of the changes that have come from Flashpoint.
Yes.
So it fixed so many things that leading up to these seasons were like, well, that's not quite right. That's a little off. That wasn't like that. That's hot. That's hot.
Oh, nice. See, benefits of not having blinds.
but it's like, okay, all of this has now fixed itself.
Yes.
But so much more has gotten fucked up. So now we have, okay, John has a boy instead of a girl. Yeah. We knew that John was supposed to have a boy.
Well, that's the thing. The changes that happened are just too small for my taste. Because when Flashpoint happened in the comic books, fucking universe got rewritten. Like, the New 52 happened, and now all this Rebirth Watchmen stuff that's coming out of it, that was Flashpoint. That's what Flashpoint did. It fucking changed everything.
But, like...
and now it's just like, oh, Barry used to own a pair of blue shoes, but now they're yellow.
Well, but think of some of the changes that it has brought us. We now have Jesse Quick. We now have Kid Flash. Post.
It did give us Kid Flash, although we could have gotten Kid Flash out of the way.
We could have. We probably would have either way.
Connor Hawk is now a more easily explained thing from where Legends goes to the future.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of things, Legends has just kind of seemed separate the whole time. Yeah. But now, like, if you go back and take into consideration some of the things that have changed because of Flashpoint, that makes sense.
And it just shows you they've been playing the Marvel game on this.
They've been playing the long game.
Yeah. Which is great. God, Berlanti. Jim Berlanti is just amazing.
And now with as we've stated before, with Jeff Johns being up there at the top of DC.
Yeah, he's controlling all of it.
He's got his hands in pretty much everything right now, including he's back to writing.
Yeah,
but
we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah,
but having everything that's built up, but then having that the huge event of we've got he went back in time and then came back, and then his conversation with Jay and everything that has happened, then the invasion.
Yeah.
And how heavily all of these changes are weighing on Barry. How heavily, the tension between him and Cisco.
Yeah.
Because...
I got mad for a minute.
Yeah. Everything that's happening with...
Caitlin.
Caitlin
turning into Killer Frost.
With all of that happening...
Oh, which is another thing. You guys gotta read fucking Justice League Suicide Squad.
I've actually got it in my pool. That's one of the things that I'm going to be picking up probably next week.
There was a random issue 4 of that in my pool.
Is there?
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
The Flashpoint, I will argue, it brought on a lot of emotional. It brought on a lot of stuff that makes a great TV show. But, I mean, if you just look at it categorically as a list of things that changed, so,
some things are so minuscule, but at the same time, there again, John had a boy instead of a girl. But now that boy is going to
become Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, some of the changes,
I'll
they
admit
seem
that
small.
I thought it a little more downplayed, but now I'm seeing it a little bigger than it was. But still, this was the perfect transition, because they were moving Supergirl's production to Vancouver anyways. They're moving...
Yeah, it's been in Vancouver.
They were filming in L.A.
Were they really?
Yeah, first season was filmed in L.A.
Oh.
And they're moving it to Vancouver.
I would say the whole second season
since the CW changed.
Yeah, I would say the whole second season has been in Vancouver, because that's where they're.
They were moving production to where they're filming everything anyways. They're having all these crossovers. It would have been just easy to do that. And I think the one reason they're not doing it is because they're afraid of having Supergirl as too easily accessible a tool for these other heroes. Because it's why would Barry solve this problem when Supergirl? You could just be like, hey, Supergirl.
And Superman is now in this universe, so it's not only just Supergirl. We have Supergirl and Superman.
But I think what they're neglecting is that these characters do have their own comic books. They do have their own villains. There are more than enough obstacles that they face without help.
Yeah, Green Arrow and Flash, they don't always team up. And if something happens, they don't always, oh crap, Superman, come save us. So it's all of this could exist in the same worlds. Because we have all the same cities.
So I think they missed a golden opportunity there. But that being said, the 4-part crossover was really cool, except for it's not really a 4-part crossover. It's a 3-part crossover.
Yeah.
And they even treat it that way from just the, introduction.
I didn't watch the Supergirl episode because, he comes in and he's like, need your help.
It's a Supergirl episode, I think tying up the story arc they were on there for a second. But randomly throughout that episode, portals are open. They're standing there having Thanksgiving dinner, and they're in the middle of talking, and then all of a sudden just opens up, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And the way they filmed it even made you feel anxious. What the hell is happening? And then the scene just stops, and it goes on to the next thing. It ends on... the other dude, Mon-El, saying, is that a normal thing for this holiday? Because he's up there. So yeah, it had its merit, but yeah, it is really just the very end. Barry Allen and Cisco show up. But yeah, it was a 3-part crossover. It was really cool seeing them interact, and it brought a lot of stuff out to the light, you didn't know how they were going to get that news out to each other. All these different, secrets that had been hidden for a while, and here it is.
And that was another like big reveal of the message from Barry.
Yeah.
Like,
and where is that going to go? You know.
Oh,
what? Is good.
Yeah.
I thought we were froze up for a second. Just want to make sure we're good.
And where is that going to go? Like, what? I mean,
like,
what is he talking about?
We got so many things in all these different shows, and then in this crossover, it all came together, and it came together so well, and everyone got so mad at Barry. Like, right? He was just out.
Barry, quit fucking with the timeline.
That's exactly what it was.
It really is what it is. That, more or less, they got to a point where they were like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Yeah,
like,
I mean, honestly,
especially
they should.
Yeah,
I mean, like, it's not just fucking with the events that he's altered, like directly, but obviously there's a butterfly effect. There's a trickle down effect.
Yeah,
Diggle getting pissed off at him. Even Oliver, although Oliver was a little more chill about it and was like, I don't really know how to feel. He was still obviously like offset by this.
He's still always like, dude, like you shouldn't be fucking with this.
What the fuck did you fuck up about my life? Yeah.
Well, so it's like seeing all of this like come down on Barry as hard as it did, but then Oliver stepping up and being like, I'm not doing this without him.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone wanting Oliver to take the lead, he's like, no, this isn't my gig. This is his.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a very pivotal moment, especially because, and it was almost like a commentary on how the shows are doing themselves.
Yeah.
Because Flash has run out in front.
It really has.
A little on the nose, but it's really run out in front, and that's kind of like, Stephen Amell saying like, "Look, I was top dog here, and now it's him."
Yeah,
go for it. And it also showcases that Barry is quite possibly the most powerful out of all. I mean, even with Supergirl standing right there, I mean, he can control time more or less. So it's not that simple, but still, I really enjoyed it. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people shit all over it. And I'll say this: it seems a little rushed. It is a little quick, but it's a TV show. It's 3 episodes of a TV show.
We can't,
and it's not like these Netflix shows where they have hours to build up to just this one point.
Yeah.
With these shows that are showing on every week, I mean, like.
Yeah, honestly,
it's set up a little different. Cage, like you have to kind of rush something.
Luke Cage could be wrapped up in a 2-hour, 15-minute movie. But I mean, they've got 13 hours to tell that story.
They have that time to flesh it out.
These guys have 44-minute episodes, not counting commercials.
Yeah,
I think counting commercials, it's under 30 minutes.
Well, no, you get about 44 minutes. No. Excluding commercials.
Yeah. If you take
because they're
hour-long shows. So you got to think, like, over 23 episodes in a season, they essentially have 23 hours to get all of this in. Well, probably closer to 20?
Yeah.
So they have 20 hours to get all of this in that they want to get done. So to take one episode from each of these shows to dedicate to this, I think they did a great job.
Yeah. Now, while we're on the topic of CW shows, there's one thing that I kind of love and I'm kind of bothered by. Recently got announced, well, actually a while back it got announced there was going to be a Constantine animated series. And then recently got announced that Matt Ryan, the guy who played the live-action Constantine on the Sci-Fi show, is going to be doing The Boys. Huh?
NBC.
It was on NBC. It was on it. Sci-Fi was going to pick it up, and then they decided to drop that idea.
ABC, wasn't it?
No, it was NBC. Because remember, in the Arrow episode, he requests the peacock feather, and all he does is scratch his back with it.
That's right.
As a little subtle nod to up yours.
And we also got him we're getting him as the voice as John Constantine in the Justice League Dark animated movie as well.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think what it was, they all realized, like, we found our John Constantine. We just need to fucking keep him. Like, so whether that's
did you guys
throwing his
not
voice
see
in on an animated movie or throwing his voice in an animated series or keeping him as live action, regardless, we found our John fucking Constantine.
Yeah, and they're
CW picked up the Constantine live action show.
And they have. They put him in Arrow. They put
No, CW has picked up the rights to the
live action. And they're doing the animated series.
That's what we're discussing.
Yeah.
No, it's live action.
No, well, the most recent thing that has been announced is that it will be animated and it'll be on the CW app.
No. He's saying that they had the rights to do a live.
Oh yes, they do.
Yeah.
To bring,
but that's not what they're doing.
Yeah, they're going to do animated.
That's not what that announcement was.
No, they're doing an animated show. And it's going to be on the CW app and the website the same way same way they introduced Vixen before they brought her in live action.
And he mentioned this while we were talking about the structure of the show and figuring out where our topics were going to be. Because I was worried that it wouldn't be in continuity with the CW Berlantiverse, but apparently Vixen is. So this should be.
This is supposed to be in same continuity, same universe. What I think they're doing, I think this is just their way of being like, okay, this is our way to continue this John Constantine story, start tying him into our universe, and if it does good, fuck it, we'll make a live action show. So that's essentially what they did with Vixen. They were testing her out by seeing like what some of the fan reactions were to that little animated series they had on the site and on the app, and got nothing but fucking positive feedback. So they brought her into the show.
You know what I'd absolutely love? I've been watching Lucifer, which is based off of a DC Vertigo book. And John Constantine is a DC character. And he also can hop dimensional planes. So I would love so much if Matt Ryan ended up being Constantine on Lucifer.
And popped in there.
Because, if you're not sure, Lucifer's not a bad guy in this show. They pretty much play it right to the statement he's a fallen angel. Angels are the good guys, so he's not a completely terrible person. He's just extremely bitter about a lot of things. And he said, you know what, to hell with hell, I just want to go live on Earth. And he opens up a nightclub and a lot of other stuff happens. It's a great show. But that would be awesome. Because I don't know the actor's name, but the guy playing Lucifer is so fucking charming and, witty. But also, he's got this very dark side to him. And I would love to see that interaction with Matt Ryan's Constantine. Because it's almost the same thing, but they're kind of the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun interaction, though, at least.
It'll be great. The banter.
Touching on that kind of character, did anyone keep up on Preacher?
I still haven't started.
I haven't even started on it yet.
I've seen the first couple episodes.
That's a Vertigo show, right?
No.
That's a Vertigo title?
Yeah.
From the only thing I've heard from it, there was somebody I know. He's not too familiar with comics. He started watching the show, and then he started reading the book.
Mark.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to mention that fucker's name, but
I'm gonna pee real
quick
while you guys
he started the show, and then I got him the books, and he read that, and he said that for the most part, the first few episodes aren't really in the book. Some parts are. It's a little bit a little bit of a story prior, and then from there on out, once it does catch up to where the book starts, it's pretty fucking close. It's pretty accurate throughout the whole way.
Well, and what I saw, it was really good, really different. Having not read any of the Preacher series, I was digging it, and then I just never kept watching it.
And I haven't necessarily gained full faith the same way I do with Disney Marvel, Disney Star Wars, or Netflix Marvel, shit like that. I haven't necessarily gained full faith in AMC shows, but for the most part, most of AMC shows have been top notch.
Well, and that's another thing.
And that's everything from fucking Walking Dead to Into the Badlands, of course, Breaking Bad, on and on.
Touching back a little bit on the comic shows, whatever happened with Outcast? I know the whole first season.
Well, you know that Outcast. Outcast was originally picked up after Walking Dead became the phenomenon that it did. Outcast, AMC wanted Robert Kirkman to write another show, essentially based off a comic. He had the idea for Outcast. There were no comics written yet, so he agreed he had this contract for the show adaptation of Outcast before even the first issue was even written. So from issue 1 on of Outcast, he's been writing it with the show in mind, kind of to try to do it somewhat the same way he did Walking Dead, where the basics are going to be the same in the comic and the show, but the details are going to be so different that you can enjoy them both separately, or if you're a fan of the comic and then go watch the show, you can see the differences but see the similarities. But as far as when it's coming out, I have no idea. There's an episode of the Nerdist podcast with Robert Kirkman that came out a few months ago. I'd say about October. It was right before.
Why couldn't he have picked Invincible?
Because that's not what AMC wanted. AMC wanted something along the lines of Walking Dead with the horror, with the craziness.
Well, you got to think of American Horror Story is really popular.
Yeah, you've got to look at not just like what the fans
Things.
would want, but you got to look at like as far as a TV network goes,
Marketing
They
standpoint.
look at everything else that's being successful on all these other networks, and it just in general. So they try to figure out what everybody wants at that time, and at that time is they want supernatural thrillers, they want shit that has some gore in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as Outcast goes, like I said, I know that originally it was when they agreed to do it.
Nice.
It was going to be he agreed to do the show before there was even comics written for it. Like he started writing the comics after he agreed to make a show, and that's cool. And even a few months ago, we saw at most comic shops they had that little advertisement for the what is it, Cinemax or Showtime that's going to be coming out with it.
I have no idea.
It's either Cinemax or Showtime. One of them is going to be coming out with Outcast. It should be coming out soon, I'd say. I want to say it was coming out sometime this year, but I don't know exactly when.
Well, using that as a transition to our next topic.
Yeah.
Another
comic show? Well,
comic
Robert
show.
Kirkman?
I wanted to say video game show for some reason.
No.
Another comic
there
book
is
show.
a video game. But
Yeah. A few of them. Yeah. Anyways, another comic book show that has been like just all over nerd news.
You may have heard
blowing the fuck up.
It has a few viewers.
The Walking Dead. 1 or 2 issues are out.
Couple, yeah.
Maybe a few volumes. The Walking Dead recently started the prologue to the All Out War storyline on the TV show. And the main part of that, the main catalyst for that is Negan. This character that is just, he dominates the panel when he's in it. You can't help but love every second that you're reading him, but hate that he's still alive. You want him to die. You want to see Rick fucking rip his throat out.
I'm going to take this moment to say I haven't watched past the first 2 or 3 episodes of this season.
Okay.
That's mainly what I'll be talking about.
I don't mind the
For the most
spoilers.
part. Okay, fair enough. But anyways, yes, Negan is this just dominating force in The Walking Dead.
Full of fucking charisma and just so sadistic, but in such a, like, fun uncle sort of way.
Right? Yes.
You know
oh my
I mean?
god, that is the perfect way to put it. Like he says all this fucked up shit, but it's like the drunk uncle. They're like Becky's getting tits, isn't she?
Exactly.
Like that, you're not supposed to say that about your niece. I don't mean I want to fuck her.
I just say she has a nice rap.
She's just getting some tits on her.
He's that drunk uncle where you're in the back like, I wouldn't have said that, but he makes a good point.
Becky is getting tits. Like she's eating puberty.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, that's the subject of the night. But
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan.
Wow.
All right. One of the first casting choices I heard before it was ever announced was John Hamm. Is that his name, John Hamm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first.
That was like
okay.
When I heard that, I'm like, you know what? Look wise, fucking perfect. I can see it. I haven't really seen him in any role where it's like he's kind of a dick, except for just recently I seen that he's in an episode of Black Mirror, and he's kind of a dick in that one, and I love it. But I haven't actually really seen him in any roles. I didn't really watch a lot of Mad Men. I know there's some parts of that show where he can be an asshole, but he's not a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not the villain in it. So that kind of came and went, and then whenever Jeffrey Dean Morgan was first rumored, I was like, ooh, that's fucking good. Like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know our love for Jeffrey.
Dude, I mean, the comedian.
Dude, if we want to go into chick flicks, dude, P.S. I Love You.
P.S. I Love You was a great one.
It.
The Winchester dad.
Yeah, and he's fucking Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, he's fucking Thomas Wayne. I wish we would have gotten more of that. Just one more Batman.
You never know. We might.
You
never know. We might. You never know. Because with Maggie, I can't remember her name. Laura or something.
Laura Cohen.
Yeah. With Maggie as Martha Wayne, especially the haircut and shit, she looks an awful lot like Martha Wayne in the Flashpoint story where she becomes Joker and shit. Could you... Just for a quick second. I know we'll never get it, but just for a quick second, let's go off into La La Land and imagine her as that female Joker from the Flashpoint storyline with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
She has the smile.
Oh my god.
With Jeffrey Dean Morgan as that Batman.
That would be an amazing movie all on its own.
I think it just came.
I saw him get hard.
He saw a little pinhole.
Fucking, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan owns this role. Everything I just described about Negan, he portrays it. When he's on screen, that's where your eyes are.
And in that season premiere of this season, we all went into it, of course, wondering who's he going to kill.
Yeah.
We know who he kills in the comics. And we're like, okay, it's possible, but like, let's look at the track record of the show. They like to switch up characters.
Yeah, they're known for changing the script.
And of course, that's exactly what they do. They give you a whole different character they kill off. But then, they trick you into tricking you, and then they fuck you, and then they make you mad, and you flip fucking tables, and you get a divorce with your wife, and you abandon your kids, because they fucking did it anyway.
I know that's what I did.
Or so I've heard.
Anyways, the scene becomes Negan.
Oh my god!
It like personified, dude, because it's so tense and it's so evil when it happens, and then
and not just that part of it, but whenever he has Carl down on the ground and he's telling Rick like, cut his fucking hand off, like you're cutting off his arm. Yeah. Like for a moment there, you truly like you're in Rick's position. You feel sick to your stomach. You feel like crying, and it's like, and you think in your head like, "There's no fucking way out of this." And then Carl looks over. He's like, "It's okay, Dad. Like you got to do it." Like that. God damn, that's some good fucking storytelling, man.
Just fucked me up. I mean, yeah. Every time that episode makes you feel safe, it turns it
tears that away from you so fucking quickly,
and all the way up to the end when they're dragging away. Dude, I mean,
the body. And even in episodes post that episode, dude, like it trickles throughout up until the fucking mid-season finale. It's like everybody has that little tiny bit of security that they felt was just ripped away.
And every time Negan's there, you're nervous.
Exactly.
You don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know what he's going to say. Town, and he's sitting in Rick's home, and he's like playing with
Judith.
Sitting
there with Judith, yeah.
Like the whole time, like you're on the edge of your seat, and you're like, you're so anxious because you know, like this motherfucker just will bust open a skull, no hesitation, and laugh about it.
And you were in this place of like security because they didn't find Judith the first time they came to Alexandria.
And the thing is, like, Judith is living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, she died a long ago. She died
at the prison.
Yeah, she died at the prison whenever the governor first invaded.
Yeah.
That's the same time Lori died.
Lori gives birth to it, and they're running out of the prison.
She's holding she gets shot from behind.
She gets shot from behind with the shotgun.
So she's already living on borrowed time. Yeah. So, like, anytime that Judith is in any kind of jeopardy, I get anxious, not because it's like, oh my god, there's a baby and I might get hurt, because I'm just like, they're about to kill this motherfucker. And that's the same way I felt with Abraham. That's why whenever
what's in the spaghetti?
That's why whenever the last season finale, whenever they left us hanging on who they killed, my very first legitimate thought on who it was Abraham, because I'm like, he's become a favorite.
Yep.
He's on borrowed time.
On borrowed time too.
The only person I was like that would be as effective would be Daryl. And they're not going to kill Daryl.
No, absolutely.
Like, I started wondering, and I'm like, Norman Reedus does have another show. He's starting to pick up more movie roles. Like, it seems like he has a lot of extra time.
And here's the thing.
Did they kill him?
Here's the thing about Daryl. that is going to make this all so much more interesting. Because for a while there, they were doing scene for scene the comics.
Yeah.
Like, for maybe the first 3 episodes, it was just everything was almost completely ripped right out of the comics. And it made you think that's how this is going to go. And you forget that Daryl is there because the one time Daryl does stand up, it ends up badly.
He fucks it all up.
And then after that, you just kind of forget Daryl's a part of this. And then when he makes it back to the group.
Well, they have that whole episode with him and the what was that song playing on repeat?
It was the theme song to Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
They're on Easy Street.
Easy Street, yeah.
And it all feels so sweet.
I mean, they had that, then they had whenever Carl wound up going to the Saviors, home base, whatever. And that's another thing, dude. Like, we're starting to see a lot more of Carl do Carl shit, which is go off on his fucking own when he knows he's
Post getting shot in the fucking face. That's how it is in the comics. I mean, that's when he starts being like, "Dad,
real quick,
let me do my thing."
Have you seen anything on this fan theory about
it's all
Carl's story?
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Old
and
man
now
Carl.
I really want it.
We'll see. We'll see where
I've
it
been
goes.
hearing that for a while.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of there's a lot of good reasons because it's like anytime Rick's the focal point. Like, think of how you always think of your dad. Like, your dad's the superhero. Your dad, is... How many times has Rick been the hero and kind of like a ex machina way save the fucking day? Like, a few fucking times, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's
from the
theory.
early seasons, like maybe even around season 2 or 3, people have been saying like this is a story about Carl because there's
and
no
it kind
way
of
Rick
is. Like,
can live forever.
In general, it kind of is Carl's story.
God,
yes.
I'm not looking forward to crying when Rick dies. Like,
No, but it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
It needs to happen.
God damn it!
They're all going to die.
I'm gonna fucking cry.
Isn't Rick still alive? Rick's still alive in the comics.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Negan's still alive in the comics.
Rick is so fucked up in the comic. He's missing a hand. That's from early on.
Yeah, dude, that happened way early.
After the fight with Negan, he can't walk right now.
Yeah.
And he's still fending off 2 fucking dudes at one time.
And Negan's still alive!
Dudes.
Why the fuck haven't they killed this motherfucker off? Yeah.
2 dudes attack him because they don't like the way he's running.
Do you understand how much time has passed since Negan was first introduced to where he's at now in the comics? Like, Negan's gonna fucking, like...
Oh, no.
All these people that's like, well, it's gonna be like a governor after season 2 is going... No. Negan's with us for, like...
No.
Until whenever.
Well, no. We don't
He's
know
still
that.
around.
We don't know that. Because, I mean, again...
Dude,
they
he
do
ties
flip the
into a
script.
lot of, like, fucking big stories.
And we're also talking Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Anytime he's on a TV show, he's not there for long.
No, but like, I'm sorry, but you're going to... If you're going to fucking cast somebody for such a big character role in the story, so much that he's still around, and a lot of the big story arcs that happen after his introduction are tied directly to him. They need to keep him around.
The Whisper War, which is the most recent thing that's been going on, I could easily see Negan being removed from that.
I can too.
Until
it comes time for what's her name? The Whisper, the chick.
Yeah.
That he's
when he kills the Alpha.
Alpha.
Yeah. When he kills Alpha. Yeah.
Alpha 5.
Alpha,
yes.
when he kills Alpha 5 for being a horrendous fucking
Bill
blob of
Hader.
awful.
All right.
Anyways,
Real quick, I just want to say Ezekiel and his tiger, fucking sweet.
fucking tiger! I was so worried they weren't going to do the tiger, and they did the tiger. It's awesome. The tiger. I want it. I can't wait to see it kill things.
I know.
Because there's this part in the all out war storyline coming up where there's this big battle and the tiger is a big
There's a
fucking
big
part
all
of
out
it.
war going on.
There's a war and it's all out.
It's all out. Stakes out.
It's all that. Keenan and Kel. It's all over orange soda.
Speaking of which, Lexington.
Yeah.
Kel Mitchell's going to be there.
Yeah, we're planning on going to Lexington, and if we get to meet Kel, we're going to have him sign
I'm
a
bringing
bottle
orange
of
soda for fucking sure, dude. I'm bringing orange
Fuck
soda.
yes, we're bringing orange soda, if I don't drink it all.
Us and millions of other people.
Yeah.
He's
probably
be
hates.
so sick.
He probably fucking hates seeing bottles of orange soda. He probably fucking despises it.
We're going to do it anyway.
I'm bringing grapes. Wait a minute. I don't know if you're doing this to make it a break from the orange soda or it's a racist thing because I'm black and it's grape soda. Which would make you want to sign it more?
Can it be both?
All right. Pretty much Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan.
It's awesome.
Fucking awesome.
If you're not caught up, get caught up. If you don't like the show, your reason is probably bullshit. I hate talking to people who don't like the show because half the time
I hate talking to people who don't like the show because they're like, it just gets too much hype. There's a fucking reason it gets so much hype.
The one thing I always hear, it's a zombie soap opera. First of all, no, Warm Bodies is a zombie soap opera.
Yeah.
Fucking, and people love that fucking movie. This is about people. Just because it's about people doesn't mean
it's a human being. It's a drama about human beings that happens to be set in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, people fucking die. They're trying to survive. What do you expect? It's gonna be emotional.
Because technically, iZombie it doesn't take place during a zombie apocalypse. The apocalypse is just
it's kind of like a fucking virus.
It's
happening.
It's Abby McBeal.
It's really what? First of all, you mean Ally McBeal?
Whatever.
And no, it is.
That shows you how much I give a fuck about.
Have you watched the
Alex
show,
McBeal?
Bob?
Have you read the comic?
Have you watched the show, Bob?
What? Which one?
iZombie.
Ally McBeal.
iZombie.
I've watched bits and
Ally
pieces.
McZombie.
I like it.
Ally McZombie.
And I think the chick who plays Liv Moore, if she does not get like just a shit ton of work after this, it'll be amazing because she practically has to play a different character every episode.
Oh no, I think that's dope.
That's fucking awesome. Anyways, okay, moving on from that to again, no good transition here. Injustice 2. Injustice 2. Let's talk about that.
So, have you guys seen the newest trailer?
Yes, the cinematic trailer.
Yeah,
with all the titties.
Yes, that one. Okay,
it was on Pornhub, right?
Yeah, that one. So
it's an Axel Braun parody.
At the end, when the guy walks in with the big thing and does the stuff, but no.
I didn't write down.
Okay, at the end of that cinematic trailer, it shows us Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that got announced weeks ago on accident.
You know what's funny though? They covered it up well.
Did PlayStation do it by accident?
Completely over my head.
But they covered it up really well. But PlayStation Network
dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball so hard.
They need to stop doing that.
They put up if when you pre-order, you
what's
get
up,
to
Jason?
Play, as Darth.
Ha ha! He knows.
Yeah.
So that got revealed on accident weeks ago.
Here's my problem. I want Darkseid to be a big part of the story.
So
if he's special pre-order DLC, that probably means he's removed.
Well, I don't know if he's special pre-order DLC or if that just makes him a playable character. Because
what's the difference?
He could still be part of the story, just you can't play as him.
Unless you
okay, alright, yeah, I see what you're saying now.
So I could see that.
Which wasn't he part of the first Injustice game? You just couldn't play as him?
No, I don't believe he was in there at all.
But with this one, it's Brainiac, isn't it?
Yeah,
Brainiac's behind
he
it
looks
all.
dope.
That's gonna be so cool too. You know,
Brainiac in a movie.
I want Metallo and Brainiac in a movie.
That'd be good.
That'd be
awesome.
good.
That'd be a good team up too.
Yeah,
I can dig it. Let's have it.
Fuck you, Warner.
Listen, Warner Brothers. I know you're watching. You
Jeff
have to be
Johns.
watching.
Fuck
You're one of our.
Jeff Johns. Wait, let's pray to Jeff Johns.
Yeah. Hold on. Hats off.
Our Father, who art in DC.
Jeff
Johns be thy
name.
Cal will be thy name.
Okay, but no, yeah, I mean, the game looks great. Cinematic trailer, obviously, you can't take too much from that, except for that Superman's costume looks like shit. I hate that it's just tiny little Superman symbol. It doesn't even have the yellow, it's just the red.
And what's up with Batman's being infused with the green, which I'm assuming is kryptonite, and Superman's being infused with what looks like lightning.
And what is this whole battlesuit thing? I read an article that said it was going to be.
I dig the battlesuit stuff to a point. I see it as being once you build up your special, you release it.
It's an
and,
adaptability.
You throw it on.
Like, there's the way they explained it. There's a reason for it. Like, there's a very good reason for it. Like an adaptability to the situation type thing. Yeah. But like, I still want to know how it comes about. Why is it there? Like, who made it? Was it Batman?
You know what? It's probably going to be one of those super brief things like, oh, here's this pill. It's going to make you not die.
Here's this pill. It's going to change your costume every day.
Keep your dick hard.
Take this pill. Why? Don't ask.
This is gonna get really hot and really funny.
Do I black out for 12 hours or does it keep my dick hard?
Yes.
Yes. Both.
Wow, this is gonna be a great video game.
Yeah. Oh, happened.
But anyways, yeah, I think it's pretty cool that that's coming out. I mean, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, this statue right here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. But this statue right here came with the first Injustice game,
sick. And I'm
and
taking it home with me tonight.
Awesome! Like, they hit all the elements. It's great.
I mean, seriously.
Down to the detail. There's a little batarang.
Look at the detail on the tits on Wonder Woman.
There's a batarang stuck in the Kryptonian pod. Like, that's how much detail.
Oh yeah, there's a batarang.
There's a batarang stuck in those tits. They should have done that.
They really should have.
Great.
I would have bought 2 of them.
Guys, let's go ahead and revert back to the thing that brought us all to the table. And that's comic books. Dicks and comic books.
And comic books.
You can tell Bobb's been drinking through the progression of this podcast. It has slowly devolved into all just dicks and tits.
Dicks and tits.
Dicks and tits in that order.
You know what I want to go home to? Dicks and tits.
Dicks and tits. They're everywhere. They're all over his house.
I didn't think that one through.
It's getting to be a problem.
Just
the health inspector came in and like, there are too many naked men in this house.
Fire marshal came in and says, this really can only hold the capacity of 250 dicks. You're up to 275. That's 25 dicks past capacity.
This is a fucking fire hazard.
Fucking fire. You'll never be able to get all these dicks out there as an emergency.
But anyways,
we would have lost a few dicks at least.
Now all I'm thinking about is dicks near like the furnace and shit.
It's like most Wednesdays.
By the fireplace.
All I can think about is dicks in places where they shouldn't
like dicks in front of a fireplace on a bearskin rug, like.
But not dicks in places they shouldn't be, like a sex thing. Dicks in places where they shouldn't be, like in the home. Like
next to your lamp.
That shouldn't be on the chandelier.
Just get that out of the dishwater.
Get it out of my coffee creamer.
Why is the dick on the soap?
All right, quit talking about dicks. That's also on your mind. Let's talk about some comic books.
Can't stop thinking about dicks. Veiny, triumphant bastards.
Angry sons of bitches.
Anyways, let's talk about comic books. We have missed talking about a lot of stuff. Now, here's the thing that bothers me.
I've actually missed reading.
You guys are so fucking up to date on all this image shit, but there's this like huge crap going on in both Marvel and DC, and for some reason, I'm the only one.
Well, do you want to know why? You have 9 times out of fucking 10, Marvel makes such a big deal out of whatever their next big fucking thing is that I get really excited for, and then it's like read one issue, and it's like, okay, this is going to be a slow burn. I'm going to hold off, let a few issues come out, then I'm going to binge those few issues and get into it. And then I find out, mainly from like Odle, because he's really the only one that keeps up with it, it's like, yeah, it wasn't that good.
Well, that seems to be
a lot of times, I just, you know, to me, I love my Marvel and DC heroes. I love my Marvel and DC heroes.
Of course, who we grew up on.
It's not the thing. It's the characters.
As far as the quantity of good material that I read per issues that I read.
The quality versus quantity.
Say every fucking 10 issues I read of independent stuff, whether that's Image, Boom, Dark Horse, any of them. 9 to 10 out of 10 are going to be fucking good books. Like, I have yet to be let down. Very few times. Like, there's a few Image titles recently that, like, Power Lines I was not feeling whatsoever. Granted, I only got 1 issue into it, but, like, I could tell by the first couple pages I wasn't going to like it. Now, when it comes to Marvel and shit, it's like,
Block Blues.
We have all these characters that I'm so familiar with, so it's like part of it right there of the job is done. It's like, I know these characters, there's no build up for it. Like, I know what to expect from these characters, or I know, give or take, what I can expect. But sometimes it's shit like Civil War 2 where, condensed down, some cool shit happened. I don't know. I didn't fucking read it. But let's say some cool shit happened. But overall, as a story, like...
I think it's safe to say most of the cool shit happened in the tie-ins. Most.
I've read like 90%
most of the cool shit happened in issues that had nothing to fucking do with it.
Some of the coolest stuff from the tie-ins was the stuff in Captain America, and it wasn't even like about the Civil War. You just get to see like he's sneaking around during the like all these big events of the Civil War, and he's just fucking sneaking around doing his own Hydra agenda.
Just awesome. From your description, I just picture like heroes talking and him like in the background going, like,
"It was literally that." Hydra. It was almost literally that.
But
speaking of Captain America sneaking around, have you guys seen the video of Chris Evans in the
comic shop thing?
Yeah.
I started watching it earlier, but I didn't
watch it. It's fucking pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
It. But
let's talk about Civil War.
Okay.
Civil War 2.
You guys talk.
I expected so much more.
I expected more.
I expected nothing. That's why I didn't read it.
saying that I expected more.
He's so matter-of-factly about the whole thing.
Hey, fucking... I don't lie to our fans. All our millions and millions of one fan out there watching.
Hey, there are 2 people.
One of them's me.
2. I think it's me and Bob.
God damn it.
Oh, there's 3. But no, like, saying that I expected more is a huge understatement. It had so much potential. Like, some of the key things that happened, like...
I think a lot of people are letting that get in their way of understanding what it is, though.
Like,
Civil War 2 is not about the issue at hand. It should be, like you would think it would be, but the issue at hand is simply just a benchmarker. It's a baseline. What's going on in Civil War 2 is you've got 2 very powerful people, one extremely intelligent who has lost the most important person both of their lives. And they are using this catalyst to enact these childish, selfish feelings that they're feeling in order to take it out on each other, because one just so happens to they both just so happen to actually believe in the opposite side of the issue. And Tony Stark actually coming out to be the more
logical
one, because the way he's looking at it, the way he looks at everything, even through emotional states, is like the science.
Everything.
Yeah, the analytics and the science. Where she is saying, you know what? We're saving lives. I don't care how we're doing it. Fuck you. I'm right. That's her side of it.
Yeah, and the thing is,
and it painted her to be so terrible.
Yeah, but like she is exactly how he was in the first Civil War. He was so adamant on being right. Yeah. You couldn't tell him otherwise.
And bringing back in the personal tragedy that they both suffered. The people also are hating on this because they feel like it deconstructed their hero. Like Captain Marvel had this whole the wheels were turning. She was finally becoming really popular and stuff. People were loving Captain Marvel, and then they feel like they just tore her down. Who in emotional duress is themselves, though?
And that's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily feel like they tore her down as much as they showed more of her human side. Like, they showed that she's affected by her emotions.
And you gotta think, it's not just Rhodey's death on her conscience. I don't think she feels as harshly.
What, Rhodey died? Fuck, spoilers!
Well, wait a minute, you didn't know that? I was gonna say, that was everywhere. Not just that, but Bruce Banner, probably not weighing in as much on her as it is Tony Stark, because Tony Stark was a lot closer. But she's got all these issues with being a member of the high-ranking member of the military. She's commander of the Alpha Flight team. I mean, she's got a lot on her plate, and it's just too much for anyone.
Well, and it's like, okay, she lost Rhodey. Tony lost Rhodey. And then,
like I said, that's the main
like
catalyst.
That's what started it.
Yeah.
So, but
catalyst.
then it takes off from there, and so much will happen. And then they bring in Ulysses.
Yeah.
And that like it fuels the fire.
He is my biggest problem in this entire thing. Is not necessarily the way that they use him, because that really is just, again, there's this pillar and they're using it. They're using it as an excuse to take out their emotions. But what bothers me is at the end, like, there's so much more that could have come out of this, but it's like the writers were we have no idea what to do with this now. So they're like, he's a god now. Later.
Yeah, like they just stopped trying.
Yeah.
Okay, Ulysses. He can see potential futures. Which, by the way, I love the fact that Tony figured all this out, presented all of this evidence with Hank McCoy backing him up.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I don't believe you.
No, fuck you.
Nope. But, like...
How about this? I did a little science myself, and I've got a few results here.
Yeah, that's what she did. But, it goes into that whole, like, he can see potential futures.
Yeah.
And these visions get stronger and stronger as his power grows. Now he's just a celestial being.
Yeah, he's just gone. Bye.
Like, there was
what the fuck?
No.
I mean, they could bring him back, but now they've set him up for being so much more than he needed to be.
Well, and the thing is, like, the way they did all that. Okay, yeah, we got some of that cool, like, Ulysses was in, like, that alternate realm or whatever. Like, all that was going on. Okay, that was kind of cool. That did give a little bit of setup, but no foreshadowing. No, like...
Nope.
This is leading up to you being up there with, like, the Watcher and Galactus. And
that's the problem with Bendis, is he's more of a big picture kind of guy. He doesn't really sweat the small stuff. To an extent.
And you gotta think, he's done all these runs, like, they have went for dozens of issues, so he has all this time to set up all these stories. And you give him 8 issues to do Marvel Civil War 2, encompassing the entire Marvel universe. What can you really do in 8 issues?
I love...
But it was too abrupt.
I love what I stated about it, is that it's not about the Civil War. It's not about the reason that there is a dividing line. It's about them and their emotional state, not knowing how to handle it, and using these excuses as ways to take it out on each other, because they blame each other. They love each other, but they blame each other. And
like, I gotta give it the final battle.
If that's not a relatable story, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Like, the final battle between Tony and Carol, that was really good. Yeah. Like, I enjoyed those scenes. Shit. It was. Especially because, like, they had that dialogue going between them the whole time. And, like, Carol's not listening. She's thinking, like, she can talk some sense into him, gives up on that, beat some sense into him, and loses control.
Yep.
And
she fucks him up.
And then...
He's in, like, a fucking Iron Man, Iron Lung right now.
But then you find out what Tony has been up to.
Do you have an arc reactor on it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's in this giant iron lung coffin.
And they they state that they don't know what to, like, Hank McCoy is the one who's been like studying
Hank's
him.
Like,
they don't know how to help him because he's done all this stuff to his body.
He's been experimenting on himself.
Yeah, with the nanites and the Iron Man
Hank
suit.
McCoy is afraid. Like, for the first time in a long time, Hank McCoy is afraid to help someone because he doesn't know what would happen.
Yeah.
So we don't know
They've sealed him away.
Yeah, we don't know if this current run of Iron Man is going to eventually turn back into, okay, Tony's back, because right now he is the AI.
Oh my god, what if Tony becomes a villain?
What if Tony becomes Ultron?
Oh my god,
That's what I was about to say, and I haven't been reading the story. Like, it sounds like he's becoming Ultron.
What if Tony becomes Ultron? That's amazing. I want that.
I kind of do too.
Okay, let's move on to another Marvel story that's going on right now. It's a great story. Like, this one, no controversy. Clone conspiracy.
Two clones, one cup.
Two clones. You know what?
I'm.
That's not a bad description for what's going on.
I
He
can't
hasn't
lie.
read it.
I'm a couple issues behind on
Really?
it.
What was the last one you read?
ASM 22?
No, you're not that far behind.
21 or 22.
What was the last issue of Clone Conspiracy you read?
I think I read the second one.
Isn't 22 where he's having the conversation with the Jackal?
Okay, then I haven't read that one. So I think I'm like 2 issues behind on ASM, and sounds like 3 issues behind on Clone Conspiracy.
Okay, well, I guess I'll talk about those things because it's pretty. I mean, we're talking some pretty big stuff. I don't even know what to say without ruining it for you. Do you know who the Jackal is?
I know who Jackal. I don't like as far as like the person behind the mask.
Yeah,
Hasn't that already been?
that hasn't been spoiled for you. Okay, good. Well, okay, I will say this. Peter Parker, in the wake of like all these new elements in his life, right now he's a billionaire. He has all these different responsibilities than he ever had before. Like, and yet he still has the same problems, whereas he's trying to keep up with, you know, being part of his family and keeping his friends happy and helping these people he feels responsible for hurting and stuff. In the wake of all this, this new group comes along, led by the Jackal, and all these villains start getting revived. And eventually, it comes down to find out that there is a very specific reason why this is different than cloning has ever been before.
Have they revealed why they have to take the pills yet?
I think they've been talking about it the whole time. There's just a problem in the coding, in the genetic coding.
Okay.
Yeah. That they haven't figured out yet. And in fact, whereas you might have seen...
Because don't they decompose if they don't take it?
Yeah.
Someone stopped taking it.
Yeah, they degenerate kind of like the old clones.
Yeah.
And if you've been keeping up with some of the other stuff, you've noticed Kane has been trying to find a way to stop this because every future seems to be overrun with the clones that have degraded into this zombie-like form.
Yeah.
And he says in so many of them, it's because Peter Parker joins with New You.
Oh.
You haven't made it that far in there yet?
I don't think I have.
Okay, well, Peter Parker is apparently a big reason why there's this whole like zombie clone apocalypse coming. And they're trying to stop it on the dimensional level, but in the base story, Peter has decided to join with the Jackal. Now, I don't feel like that is necessarily like a big spoiler. The spoiler would be explaining why. There's a reason, and he fights it too. He fights it, but he just cannot argue with the logic. And I find it hard to argue with the logic. But yeah, it's not done yet, but it is, like so many other Spider-Man events, it is so great.
It is great.
And well-rounded. And it comes together in a way that you can't stop looking.
And I just want to get right in between it all and just baste in its glory, dude. Because it seems fucking
just get it right in your face and just never let it leave.
Love it.
And no, it's a great story. It really is. I'm having a great time reading it. I mean, this is the stuff Spider-Man is made of.
Did I tell you about the DCBS deal? On the
DCBS?
the discount comic book service deal.
Oh,
the
no.
Clone Conspiracy hardcover.
Oh, that thing that I hooked you up, and now I have no idea what it is. Yeah. No, you didn't tell me about that.
Oh,
it's too late. I've already got like 90%.
No, pre-order for the hardcover, half off.
Oh, nice. So what? It's probably gonna be like 20, 25?
30.
Nice.
It's gonna be a $60 hardcover.
Another Marvel title that's doing something interesting, Star Wars. And normally we would let this out because it's technically not huge news, but I think for any Star Wars fan, this is a big thing. Because while they're not going as far back as to explore his race, they are going back and exploring the Jedi Knight's days of Yoda.
Which I think is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's really,
I'd like to catch up. Even if I don't catch up, I'd like to just be able to fucking jump into the story arc and just read that part of it.
Well, that's the great thing about when they do the Obi-Wan's journal stories is people neglect to realize that there are gaps in between events that happen in the Star Wars universe. Like, just because, like, the movie cut from there here to there doesn't mean there was no time in between and it was instantaneous. They spend time on these ships. Just because they're going at light speed doesn't mean it's instant. We're not talking about instant. It's not Goku. Yeah. So, like, these fill in the gaps because basically what's happening is that this is Luke's downtime. Like, when there's nothing more he can do, when he's not training at that moment, he's reading Obi-Wan's journal, and then we get to see those stories. And that's another one. That's what this is it's another story from Obi-Wan's journal. He's talking about the only story he's ever heard about Yoda. Like, because apparently, even to Obi-Wan, Yoda's past is a huge mystery, but he did hear about this one story, and he's writing about it. And I'll say the first issue starts out kind of slow, but I think it's a decent setup to what might come. And it's actually, I love that it goes this way because I thought it was just going to be a one-issue thing.
Yeah. But it's becoming a whole arc.
It's an arc. Yeah, it's definitely an arc. Hopefully around 4 issues. But, yeah, no, it's... And, I mean, this is just one more thing onto the pile of the great stuff we've been getting from the comics. If you're a Star Wars fan and you want to be in on the continuity, start reading these comics.
Oh, yeah. I read just volume 1.
Yeah.
And I thought the way it was written felt like it was part of the movie universe.
And I will say this: I once stated that the comics read exactly like that. They have gone downhill a little bit, like not downhill, but they don't read like the movies anymore. They kind of read like comic books now. But you were right, yeah. Emojis. Anyways, as you were.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, reading it felt like it came straight out of the movies. Like, the dialogue, everything. Especially that first story arc. Who wrote that? Do you remember?
Damn, who did write that?
Whoever the writer was did a great job. It seemed like kind of maybe did a little research, maybe went back and watched the original trilogy to kind of see like the demeanor of the characters and kind of just the way they execute their lines and such, because it felt so natural.
Yeah.
And it was... I always like stories that kind of tell you the filler in between the things that we know.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. It's a continuation after
and bringing
the story that
filler into it. I mean, all of the comic books have kind of been fillers so far.
Yeah.
Like this is what.
And I don't mean filler in a bad way whatsoever.
But there's a piece of filler in a recent issue of Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron, C-3PO, and another Resistance fighter are looking for C-3PO's operatives in the field to get some information about the situation they're in. And they're in this bar, and they're waiting, and C-3PO starts looking around, and he's talking about how his old friend Han Solo, he wishes he was here because he'd be right at home. And then he looks over, and he notices the Segwavian Death Gang. And he mentions that the last thing he heard, and it's obvious he's remembering this because he saw him, the last thing he heard was that the Segwavian Death Gang was owed a lot of money by Han Solo. He had borrowed from them to catch Rathtars.
And of course we see...
Sitting nearby is Conjure Club at another table who overhears C-3PO say this.
So that kind of connects on how they got together.
And then in the background of what's going on, you see Conjure Club go over and walk
and
down
that's
over
the
to
kind of shit
and
that
they
loving.
shake hands.
That's the kind of shit I'm loving about Disney being in control of Star Wars right now. Because whether it's in the movies or in the comics, they're connecting. They're connecting fucking everything.
Yes.
So many little tiny details.
And that changes the movie.
Woven. God, it's so good.
That changes the movie for you a little bit because now not only is that scene, Han Solo got himself in another jam, but now you know that C-3PO kind of fucked him up.
Yeah, C-3PO kind of let the cat out of the bag.
And it's a classic C-3PO Han Solo situation. It's
great.
Yeah, I loved it. I couldn't have been more happy with that. And it's just a little background thing.
Yeah.
And while C-3PO is talking. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, these books have stuff to offer, and
holy shit, are we on like 2.5 hours right now?
Yeah. Well, I knew this was gonna run about 2.5.
I figured it's gonna be around 2. By the time we're all done, we're gonna be pushing 3 hours. It's gonna be our longest fucking episode. We might need to break this down into 2 parts.
Doing.
We are
I hope it's still recording.
Not recording sound.
We should be because it's still recording up there.
No, we're not recording sound right now.
Yeah, we've got this is the mic levels right here.
But if we were recording sound, it could just be down there.
It could just be lagging like it's been doing.
Yeah.
If not, oh well, fuck it. We've gotten so deep. There's no.
Yeah, the mic volume's all the way up. It is where it is.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We're towards the end anyway.
The Star Wars comics are really great though, and more to come from you. I don't know. We might find out his race because he's not the only one we've ever seen. Yaddle is another, and apparently Yaddle has these force powers. I've been like watching these YouTube videos. Yaddle has these force powers that nobody else has. Too. I can't remember what it was like a quick passing mention that they made in the video, but some powers that only she was ever able to learn, and it's a she. So we have like a male and a female of that race running around. We gotta know.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, onto what I think we could all call our comic god. He's my comic god.
He's definitely our current comic god, for sure.
Oh, man.
In my opinion.
He's given me everything I want, and it's Jeff Johns.
All hail Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, it has recently been announced that he is going to be writing a Watchmen-based comic. Now, obviously, this is going to tie into all the Rebirth stuff that's been going on in Batman, Superman, Flash, just everything DC right now. And I even tied into Captain Atom, which I started the... Fall and Rise of Captain Atom, issue 1. Really cool. Kind of just catches you up on what happened before and where it's leaving off now, getting us into this new story. But it's supposed to be deeply ingrained in the Watchmen stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a 5 or 6 issue mini that's going to have a lot to do with that.
I'm going to have to pick up another fucking miniseries that will tie into shit.
Dude, I'm reading so much DC because of this Watchmen stuff.
Captain Atom just turns into Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
No, you know what? There's a lot of imagery in that first issue that leads me to believe that. But anyways, now, he's going to be writing this. No details about exactly what it's going to be about, when exactly it's going to happen. It's just we know he's writing a Watchmen book. And that alone, like, even if we weren't doing this whole rebirth thing, even if it wasn't obvious that Dr. Manhattan has some sort of pull in the DC universe, it's Jeff Johns writing the Watchmen. Even that's amazing.
If there was no Watchmen ties into this whole rebirth situation, if we just got an announcement like Jeff Johns has announced he's going to be writing a Watchmen story.
Yes.
I'm down. I didn't get to read any of the Watchmen.
I'll pay $10 an issue. I don't care.
I didn't get to read any of the Watchmen prequel books.
Yeah, before Watchmen.
Yeah, the before Watchmen books. Not sure how well they were. I know that some of the stories were better than others.
I read the Ozymandias one. I never got a chance to
read I heard that one. The Minutemen. And another one was really the only good ones out of all of them.
Rorschach, probably.
Yeah. But all in all, like, fuck it. It's Jeff Johns. And it's Watchmen.
I
I'm down
want
for
it
it
in my life.
Of course, it's not Alan Moore, but like you were saying earlier, if it's up to Alan Moore, Watchmen, Killing Joke, all these things we fucking love from him.
Yeah, he'd be shutting all this shit down. And I think honestly, I don't know where they come back from this. And this leads us into our next topic, getting reacquainted with Rebirth, because there's been a lot of stuff that's happened since last time we talked about it.
Really, the only thing I've been reading out of Rebirth is Batman and Detective, and both of which, especially Detective, has been very good.
James Tynion has just owned that book. I'm not gonna say it's Scott Snyder level.
No, but it's pretty fucking up there.
It's really great.
And even Tom King on Batman. The
first story arc wasn't bad. It was just it wasn't exciting. It wasn't like Court of Owls type epic as a first story arc for the reboot, whatever. It was cool. It introduced us to Gotham Girl and Gotham, but mainly Gotham Girl.
For a reason.
And then storyline after that was more Gotham Girl, and after that is this 2-issue arc before they go into this next arc, which is it's all about Batman and Catwoman.
Well, no. You're skipping over a little bit. I Am Suicide.
Oh, that's right. I Am Suicide.
Storyline.
Bane, everything.
And that's kind of where it's going off the rails a little bit. It's not a terrible storyline. It's a little predictable. And the worst part for me is he keeps saying, "I'm gonna break your damn back," and then it's Catwoman who does it.
Yeah.
Here's
my thing. So far since Batman has rebooted after Rebirth, it's all interesting stories, none of which have I had to go tell somebody about. You know what I mean? Up until, like I was saying, even this Batman Catwoman story, the whole point is Catwoman is going to Batman's going to turn Catwoman in for 237 murders or something
that he knows
that she didn't do, but she's taking full blame for. La-di-da. So it's like this the last night they have together before he turns her in. So, all in all, the story is just like, all right, it just kind of seems like a filler before they start a new arc. But I was talking to you about this earlier, off the mic and off camera, was there's this great part. It's like they wind up having sex on this rooftop. And that's the end of the first issue of this arc. And then the second part of it starts up, it's just right afterwards. And they're laying there, and the dialogue is them kind of not really arguing, but like going back and forth on how they first met. And Batman's like, it was on a cruise ship. And Selina's like, no, it was in the street. You were dressed as a homeless guy. He's like, no, we're in a cruise ship and you were dressed as an old woman. And after, and in the first page, you couldn't really tell what they're why they were really arguing about it, because the picture is just them laying there and you see the word captions all around it. The next page, it all makes fucking sense. Batman's remembering the first time meeting her in the actual Batman continuity. In actual Batman, whatever issue of Batman it was that Catwoman was first introduced. That's what he's remembering.
Earth 1 story.
Yes. Yeah. She's remembering their first interactions in Batman Year 1 from Frank Miller. So that just adds to this whole Rebirth thing where everything counts. Yeah. Everything is relevant.
And it's so...
What was great about those 2 pages dialogue is that whenever he's talking about what he remembers, it's all in the Bob Kane style art. The old Bob Kane, Bill Finger style art. And then whenever they're talking about, when Selina's talking about her first encounter with what she remembers, it's all in the who did Frank Miller's Year 1? I know Miller didn't do the art for it.
Yeah, no.
But it's all in that art. It's all in the same art style from Year 1. It looks like the panels are taken right out of each one of those comics, which I thought was great. It was a great way to make both of those first appearances and both those first encounters with each other relevant, and both of them matter and are actually part of this continuity. So now it's we're not really sure which one actually happened, but they both are relevant.
And it shows you that everything's starting to crack.
Exactly. And I don't know why. That alone just made me fucking God love Tom King, man. God damn. That, and he's bringing back characters. But between
Punch and Jewel,
dude,
there's that one whole episode or one whole issue where it's just panel after panel. They're just talking about. I can't remember if it was his part in the annual or one of the single issues, and it's talking about just taking out all these just C and D list villains, but it's like Condiment Man.
Yeah. No, they're it's Batman and Catwoman.
And then Snyder did the same thing right at the end. With Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Dr. Death was like one of the I think the first main villain in Batman. In the Batman continuity,
couldn't say offhand, but I know he's definitely one of the early.
But that's what I love. Like that's what I've noticed. That Snyder, Tom King did the same thing. Snyder's like he's trying to find things that are part of continuity. Like Morrison does it a lot too. Grant Morrison did it a lot.
Yeah.
Find things that like are just weird, obscure, C-list things that are just buried way back continuity. No one's really fucked with, and just pull that back to the light. Love that kind of shit, man.
As far as like some of the other stuff goes, though, like I mean, there's been little snippets here and there. Then there was that part in the Titans where what's her name? She can read minds.
She used to be called Lilith.
Kitty Pryde?
Well,
no,
now
I think
something else.
I think her superhero name is something else, but they still call her Lilith.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lilith is looking into Kadabra's mind, and she says she sees the hands of a watch, and then the only word she could pull out was Manhattan.
Yeah.
And so the Titans move their base of operations to Manhattan because they think it means something for where they're supposed to be.
Well,
that's kind of
like they're
so now the Titans Tower is in Manhattan. But yeah, I mean, like just little stuff like that. There hasn't been like a huge development yet, as far as like the biggest one was Tim Drake's not dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if that spoils too much for anyone, but Tim Drake is not. I mean, they reveal it in the same issue as he's supposed to die.
I think it was the very. No, it was
like right at the end of the issue
because that ended that arc.
Yeah,
I thought it ended right at his death and then opened up.
No, because the next
after,
issue was
you're right.
the Night
It
of
was
the
the very
Monsters
next
stuff.
and since then they pop back in to check on him, and he finds a way to break out, but it turns out they let him.
That must be another issue I need to borrow. I think that's
probably
because I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
gotta dig out.
Yeah, they not only skipped my Batman issue 12. Remember how I said I read issue 13 and felt like there was a gap? Yeah, they did miss issue 12, and they missed the 9, 4, whatever the last issue of the Victim Syndicate is.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read any of the Victim Syndicate issues yet.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
It is really good.
Like I got almost completely caught up.
Detective's
on
been
Flash
very
and
good.
Lantern.
Just bringing in what you just said, where they're trying to pull obscure shit out of the past. They're pulling out bystanders who only stood out because they were affected by a situation, and then we never really caught up with them. Well, this is us catching up with the people who got popped up in the crosshairs.
Detective, and even some parts of Batman, but mainly Detective, dude, has been so good since Rebirth started.
But yeah, Rebirth hasn't really given us much more on this whole Watchmen thing. It's just little stuff here and there. But it was also announced that just in the next couple of months, I can't remember if it's July or March, but there is a Batman Flash crossover going on. It's going to jump between the Batman Flash issues. Like I think it's going to start in Batman, and then the next issue is Flash, then Batman Flash, then Batman Flash. And I'm pretty sure it's 6 issues. But it's finally them getting time, because all this other stuff has been going on since they found the button and since Wally West came back. And they finally got the time to start investigating this button. Like the weird energy coming off of it, we all know is tachyon energy. Anyways, they're like finally going to get to uncover some of this, and this is supposed to be one of the first big steps into the next wave. Another part, I think, is Multiplicity, which is the storyline happening in Superman right now.
Okay.
Whereas Superman is it opens with Superman. He's driving down the road, going home, I assume, and then all of a sudden there's a Superman figure in the road. Well, this Superman is Red Sun Superman. Yeah, the Russian Superman.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about.
And it turns out these beings, on behalf of some other force we don't know, are going throughout different universes, capturing Superman. And the Justice League, Justice League, what the fuck are they called? Because they're all different members of the Justice League from different universes. Like a Batman from a different universe, Superman from Earth 23.
I know what you're talking about. What is the name of that?
I can't remember their name right off the top of my head. But anyways, they show up. So now we've got Black Superman from Earth 23, Red Sun Superman, and the original pre-Crisis, pre-Flashpoint Superman, all
you know what?
teamed up.
This isn't the first time they went back and visited Red Sun Superman, which is cool. Red Sun Superman's dope. You know what Elseworld Superman I want them to visit? The Speeding Bullets one.
They probably are.
They fucking better, because honestly, that's one of my favorite
There's
Elseworlds.
a list, and the way they say it, it's spelled Lyst. Anyway, there's this list of Superman, and Captain Carrot is even on it. And they're capturing them to be devoured. So now,
You made me really happy when you said Captain Carrot. Then you made me really sad when you said Devoured.
Right? I noticed the shift in your demeanor.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
And the last panel is the last page or two is just you see all these cells with all these different Superman. And if you look, you can tell some of them from where they're supposed to be. And then Captain Carrot gets turned into an actual rabbit. And I don't know what the fuck that's about. It's an actual rabbit with a friggin' cape and the Captain Carrot symbol. So I don't know what's going on there. But if this doesn't play into the Watchmen thing, I don't know what will. Because this is heavy stuff. It's really cool idea.
That is really cool.
So we've got that. We've got the Batman Flash crossover. We've got Jeff Johns writing a Watchmen book.
The shit that you guys have going on in Titans.
Yeah, Titans is like
you're reading
more and more
from DCU?
Like I'm still reading Nightwing, Green Lanterns, Flash, Titans.
I'm surprised
Green Lanterns. I really want to read that next story arc, the Blackest Night one.
Yeah. I
just seen the cover and it's Batman riding a fucking Green Lantern, riding a constructed fucking Green Lantern bat.
I haven't seen that one. No, the last arc that I just read of Green Lanterns had the Phantom Lantern.
Yeah.
That was really fucking cool.
And then we get Justice League, and their first arc opening up where those like giant beings were trying to summon something. I feel like that plays into everything. There are so many elements, and that's the craziest thing is that they're so diverse that if you didn't know there was this Watchmen element that they're all leading to, you would think there were completely unrelated events, like all completely different things going on. So that gives you any idea just how well thought out this is, how substanced this entire Rebirth thing
and that's
is.
kind of what Jeff Johns has been doing in general with DC, like even before Rebirth. Like he's starting to he has a main goal and he has all these ideas on how he wants to get to that goal. And what it seems like what he does is takes all these writers, let them know what his goal is, kind of let them know the basic points that he wants to make.
And he never gets right to that goal. Point.
No.
Yeah, he draws out, he makes sure it's a story.
And that's what makes it so captivating, and that's what makes it so enthralling, is that you think you might know, and then it kind of twists you up a little bit, but then once the big reveal does happen, you're like, how the fuck didn't I see this? I'm so glad that that's what this is.
That's the kind of skill that, saves heroes like Flash.
And that's the kind of shit that I'm truly hoping that he brings to the DC movie universe, now that he's kind of overseeing it all.
Hopefully.
I hope that he fucking just steps in and puts his foot down and been like, alright, listen, I got a plan. And then
But it brings me back to the questions. What do they do to top that? Once the story is over, how do you recover from that? Because
how do you recover? You'll throw a few smaller main events in that aren't as nearly as exciting until you build to the next big thing, like they do all the time.
But it won't be as big.
Well,
we'll know in our
it will never be as big as fucking Crisis on Infinite Earths. It'll never be as big as Flashpoint. It'll never be as big. There's always something that's never going to be as big as. And eventually something big is going to happen.
But no, don't get me wrong. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, we're
you.
talking.
But at the same time,
Dr. Manhattan created
we're talking a
the DC
business
universe.
that every day they're thinking of a way to fucking top. Because we're always getting the middle. We're always getting the second act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We sometimes get the first act. We find out the origins. We never get the third act. Because once we get the third act, it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
So we're always getting these really good, juicy second acts.
Point.
You know what I mean? So
I've
we
never
do get
thought
some third
about
acts.
That is a very, very well articulated way to look at the DC universe. I love that.
It's just they got to keep scraping around just to keep finding that good, juicy meat. Because if not, like we're always going to run into these stories here and there that are just like, meh, it killed time. But
All right. Well,
speaking of killing
that
time,
was the last thing, like the last news story
Fuck Vader.
that we had. As far as movies, TV shows, comics.
Real
even
quick,
video
I just want
games.
to mention, since we're still kind of on the topic of comics, I just want to shout out a few things I've been reading. As far as new books go, Moonshine from Image has been great. I'm going back and reading some things that previously came out. Mr. Odle has led me on to one. I'll let him talk more about it if he wants to, but Deadly Class, fucking great story. But also The Wicked and the Divine. I've been hearing great things about from the get-go, and I finally was able to fucking hop onto this train, and it's one of the best decisions I've made for a while as far as comics go. I'm on issue 15 or 16 out of 25, I believe.
Yeah.
And, man, I tell you what, going right back to my comment earlier about Image not letting me down 90% of the time, God, man, they're so good. Besides that, like I've actually dropped a lot of stuff between work and like everything else. Not catching good deals at the LCS anymore because our sugar daddy's gone.
Moved on to a new life.
New life. Yeah. But I've dropped a lot of stuff, but for the most part, everything I've been reading is still good.
I got yelled at the other day
Why?
because I dropped Savage Dragon.
Yeah, it's so holiday for dropping Savage Dragon.
What have you been reading, man?
Honestly, I'm reading a lot more DC than I am anything else right now. I've been picking up Skyborn since you got me onto that, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go down the road.
I haven't started on that yet.
I told you to pick up at issue 1. I think you put it back in.
I did because I only had a certain budget. And
Issue 3 comes out next week. It's been delayed by a few
When's
months.
the next Reborn issue come out? Reborn. That's another one right now.
Jesus.
Mark Millar or Millar, whatever.
Mark Millar and
Greg Capullo. Holy fuck, dude! Are you reading this right now?
No.
God damn it! I can't be your friend if you don't start reading this.
You know damn well I will always pass on a friggin' independent title if
I know,
I'm enjoying.
but it's Mark Millar and Greg
my
Capullo.
guys.
And I'm telling you what, dude, like this is one of those comics that like if they don't want to make it into a fucking show or a movie, they're missing out.
Yeah.
Granted, it's Mark Millar, so probably will. But God, this is a good story, dude. Like this is
some of the stuff I've been loving. Superman is probably my favorite book in writing. I mean, I just told you about the multiplicity story. That's only
He's getting a new
that's
suit
just
again,
the
isn't he?
first part. Yeah,
it's kind of looking a little pre-crisis with the
and that's
big
another
open.
thing that
Oh,
they've
I like
announced
that.
that's coming up to tie into all of this.
Yeah,
Shit. Yeah, is there's a big story involving
It's called
him.
Watchbirth.
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Because it's the Watchmen situation.
Birthman.
Birthman.
Who births the Watchmen?
yes.
But anyways, there's a big storyline coming up with our Superman and the New 52 Superman.
I thought New 52 Superman was dead.
Well, he
Like,
apparently
yes,
is, and the story
Or is it tied into the storyline he was talking about where they're going and snatching up all the Superman?
It might
Hide
be
your
the
Clarks,
next one.
hide your cows.
They're coming in and snatch up everyone's Superman.
And it's supposed to reveal the origins of this mystery Clark Kent. Shut up too. But yeah, anyways, I'm absolutely loving the Superman book. Action, loving Detective, probably second favorite book. If we're going into Independence, I'm loving Ninja Turtles. Dude, Ninja Turtles has been great. Especially now that Master Splinter is leader of the Foot Clan. And the rift that's caused in their family. Yeah, there's some
I'm
big
still working
stuff.
on getting on all that.
Hold up. So in the past few months, we've gotten Cap hailing Hydra,
Yep.
Splinter running Foot Clan.
Well.
And Donald Trump is president.
I don't know.
So
I guess it all makes sense.
So we're all in a very college-esque experimental phase with everything. So now, loving Ninja Turtles. You know what? It turned out to be really great. I thought it was going to be too cheesy, but Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures.
Yes, it is.
It has been fun, and we're just 2 issues in.
I've only read the first issue. I haven't picked up issue 2 yet. Actually, I don't think they're even putting it in my pool. I need to put it in my
I
pool.
don't think they are.
No, they're not. I know for sure they're not. But so far, just that first issue, dude.
And it reads.
And at first, I wasn't that enthusiastic about it because at first I was like, okay, cool. It's the Dini-verse, like the Paul Dini,
the animated
Bruce
series,
Timm, along with the new Nickelodeon Turtles. But at the same time, I felt like, man, we just had a Batman Turtle crossover,
this is
and it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but it was a fun little crossover. I wasn't too excited for this one, but of course I picked it up, and then whenever I ran out of new stuff to read, I'm like, might as well. It's a quick issue. Loved it.
There's this great part in the second issue. Batman's investigating the portal that's opened up at the end of the first issue. He's investigating it and trying to figure out what kind of energy it is. And the Turtles are on the other side, talking about the portal that just opened up. And Mikey hauls off and, doing his thing. He just reaches in and he's grabbing at fucking Batman's face. And he's like, whatever it is, it's angry. he gets pulled through and flipped on his back. Oh, it's amazing. And it's so good. And like I was saying, it reads just like the animated series Batman and the new Ninja Turtles. And I've got the DVD Into the Known Universe, which is the second to last DVD that came out for the new Ninja Turtles. I love that show.
I've only watched bits and pieces of it, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I'd say if I actually sat down and watched it, I'd like it a lot more.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not one of those, you just pick up anywhere it shows. It's got a linear story. If you were to pop into the show right now, you had no fucking clue what happened.
It's got an ongoing storyline. Continuity.
So, I mean, I'm really enjoying that book. Marvel, really the only thing coming out of Marvel for me, surprise left turn, I'm loving Captain America. Now that we're out of the Civil War II stuff, and honestly, Captain America didn't skip a beat in being entertaining, because like I said, the tie-ins for Civil War II weren't even really just him getting involved with the Civil War. It was the bullshit he was pulling behind the scenes. And you get to see, in the background of what he's doing, these scenes from Civil War II playing out, and he's just doing his fucking thing. Like when Tony shows up to Triskelion to kidnap Ulysses, fucking Captain America was there. Nobody knew that. It's great. So I've been loving that and the Clone Conspiracy. Oh my god, dude, get caught up on the Clone Conspiracy. You're gonna love it. If you like Spider-Man, you're gonna love that story.
Going back to DC and Batman, you read the Batman annual from this year? Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on it though.
I love a bunch of short stories, but I loved the Paul Dini and Neil Adams team up when Batman picks up Harley.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few things there's one thing I noticed a lot about that issue. They made Batman more of the Justice League teaser Batman. You know what I mean? A little more lighthearted. There's even that Paul Dini, Neil Adams
You could
story.
argue maybe it's Harley brings that out of him.
Yeah, and most of the stories were Christmas themed, so maybe it was the holiday spirit.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about the holiday. Dude, I love the Flash story in there, where he tells the boy that the little boy that the Flash is Santa's helper, and that don't worry, I know you're in a new foster home, but I was in foster homes, and the Flash, not the Flash, but Santa was always able to find me, and now he's got superheroes that help him out. And then in the very one? No, that was in the holiday one. You were just talking about.
No. I was talking about the Batman annual, and a lot of the Batman annual has holiday. Almost all the stories in the Batman annual are Christmas themed.
Okay.
I haven't got the chance to read the holiday special yet. It's still fucking sitting in my stack.
You're gonna love that Flash story.
But no, the Batman Annual, the actual, not the DC Christmas special, but the Batman Annual, there's a lot of, all the individual stories took place in wintertime or Christmas time. Yeah. Scott Snyder one was really good.
Most of that. I remember picking up Harley, but I thought it was the holiday special.
No. It was because he was going to drop her. He gave her the choice of either dropping her off at Arkham or at the city limits. And she was like, it's so far away from Coney Island, which is where she's staying at now. Yeah. And by the end of it, he drops her off at Coney Island. She catches him singing along to Jingle Bells and stuff, and it's some parts of it was like, that's really cheesy, but it's like, you know what? Fuck it. You're trying to do a cute Christmas story. And it's fucking Paul Dini right now, one of the creators of fucking Harley, with Neil Adams illustrating it. You can't hate it.
Another great thing I'm reading right now, and I'm really enjoying it, is Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
I want to do I need to read... Okay, do I need to get caught up on Justice League and or Suicide Squad?
Not really, no.
Because I know that there's a prelude to it. I think it's in Suicide Squad.
The prelude, it's at the very end of the issue. The prelude is its own side story at the very end of the issue.
Okay.
The entirety of that issue, though, is wrapping up the storyline that they're already in.
Okay.
And then
has anybody actually kept up with... Because I read the first issue. Has anybody kept up with Suicide Squad after Rebirth?
No, not necessarily. I'm reading the tie-in issues to
the
Justice League versus Suicide Squad, but it's been really good so far. Like the first.
And what about Justice League since Rebirth?
It's been okay.
That's one that I had on my pull whenever it first started, and then after I think I picked up a couple issues, never read them.
There was this story
and then just dropped it because I just way too much.
Kid's daughter. They're like going through the death of their mother, and who died during the situation that kicks off Justice League, where the big guy, like pillar guys, and she ends up using this program, and it mutates. Someone fucks it up or something, and then Batman shows up.
And then there's dicks
fucking somebody
growing out of every fucking.
A bunch of obscure supervillains show up. Amazo shows up, which is pretty cool. It wasn't terrible. It was just like, yeah, that happened. Okay, it's Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, has been this last issue.
And the lineup in Suicide Squad in the comics right now is the same one that's in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the great thing is Max Lord is the main villain here, and he is commanding the members from the original Suicide Squad, including Lobo.
Like the original, like the
some of the original ones, yeah, not everyone.
I was like some of those,
but yeah, he's got them working for it. And if do you know who Max Lord is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he has the power of persuasion, basically. It's been really, really cool seeing that, because this last issue, Suicide Squad has to team up with Justice League to take on these guys, because they're all fuck ton powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Lobo here. Oh my god, there's this great part with are you gonna read it?
Yes.
Are you gonna read it? I'm not gonna tell you about this part, but it's Batman and Lobo. Yeah.
I have full plans. It's in my pool. I will probably pick it up next week.
It's Batman and Lobo. If you never read it, Batman and Lobo. But yeah, I mean, it's even bringing out the best in Killer Frost. There's this part where the Justice League is fighting Suicide Squad, and they're basically the Justice League has beat the Suicide Squad, because I mean these guys versus.
I mean, let's face it.
The only people who are having a tough time is Enchantress is fighting Superman, so Enchantress is kicking Superman's ass.
Magic.
And Deadshot and Killer Frost are making a getaway from someone. I can't remember exactly who. But basically what happens is Deadshot gets taken down. Killer Frost is still making a beeline for it. And just at that moment, Enchantress brings Superman down. And Amanda Waller's in there, and she's like, Killer Frost, because you know how her powers actually work, right? Yeah. Life Force. That's how she gets her cold powers. She's like, Superman is powered by the sun. Use his Life Force now. And she's like, will it kill him? She's like, that's an order or I'll kill you. Do it now. And she hesitates, but she touches him. And then fucking like her eyes glow. He like does that thing when all the fucking sun gets taken out of him. And just a flash of white. And when it's all over, the Justice League and the Suicide Squad, the entire ocean is up in spikes, frozen, and everyone is just fucking done. Like, they're all frozen.
I'm ready.
It's
My
amazing.
body is ready.
Who knew she could be that powerful? And it's like, it's such a simple concept. Of course, Killer Frost absorbs Superman. She becomes fuck ton powerful. And it makes so much sense.
It's like when you look at a character like Rogue in X-Men. You're like, let that bitch absorb some fucking superpowers, man.
Let her touch Professor X just once.
Yeah.
But it's so cool so far. I mean, it's given us that. It's given us Justice League captured by Amanda Waller. It's given us Batman versus Lobo. Like, I mean, if these aren't candy floss, I don't know what is.
Sold.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, to close out the show, we're going to close it out on a somber note, just kind of a hard topic for me.
And honestly, like, since we're on the subject, I want to read off. You mentioned it in your original.
I am so glad, because I was going to ask you to do this. You're going to read Kevin Smith's thing, right? Yeah. Well, anyways, the news that we're talking about, and you've had to have heard of it by now. Actually, I can't remember who, but someone at work claiming to be a Star Wars fan didn't know that Carrie Fisher had died recently. She went into the hospital for cardiac arrest, and oh my god, it irritates me so bad because they had me in a safe place. Like, because they were like, she's stable, she's doing better. Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
That was the last thing I heard. Was like, oh, she's stable. She's, you know what I mean?
And
things are looking up.
I wake up the next day, and it wasn't even just.
By the way,
morning. It was
K2SO is the name of that droid.
K2SO.
I just realized it.
Nice.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I mean, halfway through the day, this news just hits, and I was having a good day. Like, I was having a good day, and then that happened. And it was hard. I wanted to cry right then, but I was like, you can't cry over a fictional character. Don't do it and shit. And it was the thing that Bob is about to read. I was sitting in Silver Palace, a Chinese buffet, and I just flipping through Instagram. Like, obviously, I'm seeing the Carrie Fisher post, and I read this, and I start crying in the like. I'm sitting at a table alone at a Chinese buffet, crying with my cell phone in my hand.
To the words of Kevin Smith.
And I didn't care. I just let it go. Like, I mean, this was a loss for me. Like,
and it really was me too, dude.
My ex. Fucking Courtney, the mother of my children, even messaged me to say, "I'm sorry you lost your princess." Like that. I mean, that's how much people know what this meant to me. Because not only was she Princess Leia for me, but she was a catalyst in learning how to control some parts of my personality. I had bipolar disorder, and it became a problem with my family.
And she was a big spokesperson and advocate for, I mean, the treatment of mental illness.
I mean, the only book of hers I ever read, Postcards from the Edge, was the thing that showed me that you can do it without the medication. You can do it yourself. You just have to be smarter than yourself, more or less. But yeah, Kevin Smith posted this, and this is just perfect.
It says, "The princess stole my heart at age 7. Anybody who knows me knows Carrie Fisher was my first love. I thrilled to the adventures of Princess Leia in the Star Wars movies, but from 77 to 84, I was in love with Carrie Fisher herself. My bedroom was filled with Carrie Fisher pictures from any movie she was ever in, including Polaroids I took off TV when Blues Brothers finally hit the cable. I was jealous for Paul Simon when he was dating Carrie Fisher and wouldn't listen to his music until they split up. I paid to see Carrie Fisher and Chevy Chase in Under the Rainbow 9 times when it was in theaters. Mostly because Carrie Fisher was in underwear in one scene. In childhood, I committed myself to Carrie Fisher without ever meeting her the way novice nuns commit themselves to Christ without meeting him. Decades later, I got to tell her this when Carrie Fisher and Jay Muse were in a station wagon on the set of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which, by the way, great scene.
Yeah.
She was gracious about hearing it for the zillionth time from the zillionth man or woman who grew up idolizing her, but wickedly added, "I'm glad to know I helped you find your lightsaber." And with that, she stopped being Carrie Fisher to me and just became Carrie. That That's the Carrie I'll always remember. The dutiful dutiful standard bearer of childhood dreams with the wicked sense of humor and a way with words. She didn't want to get paid for her role in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Instead, she asked we buy her these antique beaver chairs. Her reason? Beaver seems an appropriate currency for this movie. When she was a guest on season 1 of our Hulu show, Spoilers, Carrie curled up in the throne like she belonged there. And she did. After all, she was royalty. As a boy, I dreamed of marrying Carrie Fisher. As a young filmmaker, I dreamed of casting Carrie Fisher. As an adult, I dreamed of being as sharp-witted and prepossessed as Carrie Fisher. And now that Carrie Fisher is gone, I dream of my friend Carrie, whose entire magnificent career I was lucky enough to witness, who's honestly made me a better person, and whose spirit, like the Force, will be with us always. Good night, sweet princess.
Yeah.
Roll that badass outro music.